Starting that stream up. Starting that stream up. Oh, yeah. Let's see here. Jeremy with us.
All right. Let's check.
Jeremy with us.
Let's see.
So last week, the note that he sent us with his what do you call it? Executive producer donation was the first recorded instance of a comet hitting the sun. The energy released is equal to approximately 1 million hydrogen bombs.
Goodness.
He didn't send a fun fact this week. Fact check false?
Did he send us the money? We're good.
Yeah.
Then we're okay, right?
Fact check false?
Fact check. False.
I've noticed lately there's a lot of
Is it wet enough for you?
nice.
Sure.
I guess. Doesn't take much for me.
You seen all the chatter about sunspots and how the sun's going to kill us now?
Oh, yeah. I've been watching this for months.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad everybody's just now catching up to it.
Well, solar flares have been a thing since the telegraph system.
Yeah.
So that's whenever I guess we became aware of them. But
Well, I get alerts pretty much daily.
why? How?
Work.
Okay.
And
Does
they
it
tell
affect
us
your...
it affects our
yeah,
network.
Absolutely. For
Yeah,
sure.
it affects our network. So I get shit all the time. And a lot of times they say that the severe spots are up north to watch out for.
Because of the distance is closer.
You're closer to the thinner atmosphere
Yeah.
around the northern pole.
Right.
Bam! I'm wearing these to the show next week.
What do you got?
They're like
Racing
$400,
shoes.
aren't they? They're expensive as
Are
shit.
you a shoe guy?
Let's see.
You and Javier?
$294. These are on clearance. $294.
Do you and Javier go shoe shopping together?
No, I'm just geeking out on F1's.
RoboTuner.
merch.
Would you fuck in the fire to spread all the ashes around?
Now that's tight.
That was actually played at Red Rocks this weekend. Sunspots.
That's pretty cool. Look at that one. It's a jacket.
That one's badass.
Yeah.
I'd wear that
Looks military-esque.
if I didn't have a beer belly. If I was
That's the
European
thing.
build.
All this stuff is for Euro dudes that generally aren't fat fucks.
I found a good place for all sorts of racewear, but it's all in Asian sizes. So like
That's Nike, right?
American sizes are 4X, 5X.
Damn.
They have like a 7X on there, and I'm like, what? But then I get to
You're
look
a
at the
fat
measurements.
fuck.
I'm like, oh, it makes sense.
You're a fat fuck today. You wear this one.
Shut up,
2XL.
Hamasu.
You don't wear 2XL.
Hello?
You wear
I'm still here.
4X.
All right, let's fire this thing up. Y'all ready?
You wear 4X
Get it.
today.
Let's start this thing up just like this.
The man in black fled across the desert, and the gunslinger followed.
I don't do podcasts. You know, I like Howard Stern. You know, old Stern. Before he started doing therapy and got all gentrified and shit. Back when it was just a whack pack and butt bongo. Before Bob Booey got those big filthy teeth fixed. You know, but I did try your podcast. Yeah, it's absolute shit. I mean, it sucks.
This episode of the
Guns Basket
is brought to you by
Geist Note.
and
Victor Wrench.
and Plastic Object.
Plastic
This program
object.
contains graphic material, including offensive language. Viewer discretion is advised.
Need to put them on the list.
Oh, I talked to him last week. Our people will get a hold of their people. They wanted to come in tonight before their show on Saturday.
This is where I want to tune all of Dustin or Thomas and I's stuff.
Show number 489 for Tuesday, September 6th, 2022. Happy Tuesday, Matt.
Happy Tuesday, Dustin.
And happy Tuesday, Andrew.
Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday.
Welcome
Andrew.
back.
So soon, too. I mean,
We've got the door locked. We've got the gate locked. We've got the house doors locked. No one's going to come in here and disrupt the show this week.
We
This
actually
time.
took the lock off the gate, or the door lever.
Yeah, we actually had to repair the gate before you got here.
I got a little anxious when you said that. Like, I'm trapped. There's no doors out.
There is no doors.
None. No,
You'll now
no
become
doors.
insulation in our walls, much like what RoboTuner has in his studio.
Oh.
He took small children and lined the walls with them.
Shout
Mate.
out RoboTuner. There he is right there.
Yes, right in there.
Wallpaper with children's skin. What?
That's weird.
Yeah,
So
that sounds really
I've been
weird.
court ordered by a decree of the Methinks to knock this off at the beginning of the show. It is now official. There's now official Facebook invites on Facebook. You can join these event pages and whatever Facebook does in order to promote your shows these days. Because no one makes flyers anymore.
I wish we
I
would.
do. I make a lot of flyers.
We did.
I think you should.
If you'd like a flyer, I
The
have several.
Dangits made a badass one for the Uncle Toasty show we had this past week, which we'll get into.
I think
But
flyers are good for the environment.
flyers are good.
There was a flyer at Doc's with y'all's stuff on it for September 2nd.
Yeah, we'll get into that. But this is our audio flyer. October 29th, Lola's. We've teased it. We've talked about it here leading up to this, but here it is at the beginning of the show, not at the end of the show. We got paid big money this week to promote this right at the get-go. The Methinks record release with the Local Gringos and some band called The Spectacle. October 29th at Lola's. Dress up because it's Halloween weekend. That's a Saturday. It's
Ooh.
Halloween weekend.
That's whenever all the kids go out.
Yep. We'll go out and then we'll go streaking through the quad at TCU
Good.
You can bring your funny hat.
because we're right down the street. But-
Streaking isn't very woke anymore, though. I don't know if you can do that anymore.
My
What?
body, my choice, whatever.
Yeah,
No, they're just
I
not
can-
into it.
helicopter my little tiny dong around if I want
I agree.
as I'm running down the street.
Got more of a tail rotor situation going on there.
Yes.
I'll run it by my woke attorneys and
Okay.
find out if it's approvable.
How much
Our
does that
HR
cost?
approved this. So,
Who spectacles? Well, that's doesn't.
well, no.
or Jerry Jonestown Massacre's
Spectacle
HR.
fired their HR
I
because
was like, y'all's HR department's a mess.
the HR department said, we give up, and we said, no, fuck you, you're fired.
Yeah.
So
there
we
is
wanted
no
them to leave, so we
Spectacle
had to
HR.
pay them
To leave?
to leave. We
That's
have
a-
to pay
They
their
wouldn't get
unemployment.
out.
Strange arrangement. How
Yeah,
much,
you have to pay their
There's a total
unemployment.
Michael Scott movie.
What does it cost to put a woke attorney on retainer these days?
Well, it depends. If they're socialist, then you don't.
Right.
You don't pay them.
We
right?
just pay a monthly fee. It's called Prime
The government
America.
pays them.
And you pay, what, $49 a month to join Prime America or whatever the hell it was. And we have a choice of attorneys we want.
I should be a woke attorney.
I don't think it'd
I'd
work.
be good at it.
Would you, though?
That would be
No.
an awesome
It would just be
billboard.
funny.
You,
The woke attorney.
liquor at night, coffee in the morning, and then Matt Stubbs, woke
The
attorney.
Wake up. Be woke.
Put
Yeah.
you in a
By-
Goodwill three-piece in front of a billboard
Matt,
like
attorney at
Better
law.
Call Saul.
Yeah.
He's wearing a T-shirt
And
with
like-
a tie and a little handkerchief, and the handkerchief is that Coexist logo with all
The
the, different
judges-
logos.
Mr. Stibbs,
Emblems.
what are you eligible to represent law? Have you passed the bar?
Are we in Georgia?
And I'd be
Yeah.
like, yeah, no, but I'm woke.
Good
I don't need
enough.
it. I don't need to have a
Everybody would
To
see
be a lawyer.
right through that.
yeah.
There's no way. This
like
guy
my
is-
clients would be like, fuck.
Yeah.
Thought this guy was really woke.
I'm not. I'm just here for your
Mistrial.
money.
Mistrial.
Yeah.
Mistrial.
That's
what it would be.
Your Honor, my attorney misrepresented himself.
He said he
and
was woke. Well, I am
demand-
woke. I'm woke. I've been woke since 7 this morning.
I
I
need a
demand.
nap.
You know what?
Now I need
just whatever the county can give me for counsel. I'll take
Yeah.
that. I don't want this
the
guy.
court-appointed attorney.
Yes, please. Court appoint me some counsel. It's all good.
Give me one of those Soros attorneys.
You know what? Just validate my parking.
Yeah.
There you go. Validate my parking.
I'm
Let
only
me-
here for the hoagies.
Let me get a free taco at Taco Bell because of the third quarter,
Not
our
the-
score.
Y'all ever done
Cafeterias.
jury duty?
Yes.
I always get the boot.
I've never actually.
Yeah, I get the boot pretty quick.
I got pulled into
Never sat on a jury.
2 federal ones,
Oh shit!
and that was
Can we
I
talk?
didn't do them.
Are you allowed to talk about them?
Yeah, I don't care. They I got kicked out.
Yeah, there's 0% chance you would get taken now.
Yeah, I got kicked out.
Were
of the
you
first one.
selected to be a jury? Or a
No,
juror?
I had to go through the entire day though.
Right.
Listen
Of
to all
the
this federal
elimination,
bullshit.
yeah.
It's not like when I've gone down for regular jury duty. Most of the time, you're out of there by 9 o'clock.
You know the
So like they don't need you.
the justice system, the way they select their jurors is so screwed up. I mean,
Yeah.
it's basically draft picks.
Yeah,
You know, you're trying
it
to
is.
figure
Yeah, when I
out
selected mine,
how to win just based off your jurors.
I thought I had a winning team. They didn't fucking like me.
Well, this federal one, they knew a lot of bullshit about me.
Shit.
A lot of stuff.
Oh yeah, they run those.
'Cause they go around-
Lexus Nexus.
was
when they
this
start
in the last
talking-
9 years?
Oh yeah, this was like 4 years ago. But they go around the room, and they're doing stuff. And this was the owner of a pharmaceutical company that had a lab down in Houston was being sued by another pharmaceutical outlet down in Houston that said they stole patent shit for these pills or whatever. And it was like going to be this big ordeal, but it's being handled in Tarrant County because the guy they're suing or going after lives in Tarrant County.
Right.
So they did it up here for some reason. I was like, why don't you just do it all down in Houston? And the judge was like, before anything started, he's like, this is probably going to take 6 to 9 months to do. And I'm like, what the fuck? What? You can't do 6 to 9 months for one of these things? But they started popping around the room asking people questions. And
What was the questions they were asking you?
they were just kind of getting into people's lives and how they believed on things. And it was
That-
all the questions were different. But when they came to me, it's like they were looking through my chart and goes, so you work for AT&T, huh? I was like, yeah, I sure do. I'm like, well, how do you have time to do that and also work for the Dallas Cowboys? And I was like, I actually said, are you serious? Really? You do realize the football season is only like 7 months out of the year. You can do both. It's very easy to do both. And they're like, huh.
I don't even get that.
Well, we
you
don't
could
even-
leave.
We don't believe what you're into or what you're doing. Then it came down to. Also, we see you're a part of the media and you have a podcast called the Jerry Jonestown Massacre. I was like, is that correct? Yeah, it is.
We're done here.
You can leave.
That was exactly.
Yeah.
All right. Miss such and such. And that was.
Yeah.
And then the next thing I know, they're like, you can go down and get your $16 check or whatever the hell it is. Or you can just donate it.
Yeah.
I didn't even go through there.
Yeah,
I
by that
just
time you
walked
just
out.
want to leave.
That's what most people do, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I've gone twice, and they eliminated me pretty quick. Pretty quick.
I didn't even make
I don't
it to
even
the part
think
where
I
they
got.
ask you
I don't
questions.
even think I did too either. I think they were just like, Mr. Stubbs, you can leave.
Well, I got pretty mouthy. I can't remember everything I said, but I ended up saying
You
that.
blacked out.
Well, it's been so
Still,
long.
you can still get a contempt charge for popping off. You know.
But I popped off at the lawyer because he kept questioning me. I was like, you know what? People can have multiple jobs. We don't have to be lawyers all day or have a silver spoon in our fucking mouth.
I
You
like
can
that.
do
That's
this
what you were
shit.
fighting about.
But he just kept harping on it.
Like, how much
Kept
more are you going to ask me
harping
about this?
on it
Yeah.
over and over. Are you sure you can do this?
That might have been a
this takes lot of
strategy,
your time,
though.
blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah.
He might have been trying to get you to blow your top.
Could have been good. I didn't
They
want
do
anything to
that.
do with this.
Nobody does.
I didn't want anything to do with that.
If
There's
you want
old
to be
people
on
that
a
did.
jury, then you probably don't need to be on a jury.
The other thing was there were 3 retired judges in there
And the jury.
in the jury pool that
That's not random.
were old.
That
And I
can't
was
be
like, that's
random.
weird.
Yeah, it seems like they should get the boot.
You would think so.
Well, how are there
Some
3
kind of weird
retired
conflict
judges?
of interest.
3.
That doesn't make sense.
3 of them.
I had something interesting happen to me today. I'm going to be doing a staycation, a cowboy staycation, the weekend of Detroit when they're in town, and they asked me they had me fill out a survey for the weekend, and it started off with just your basic COVID questions, but then it started asking political affiliation. It started asking why I feel the way I do in regards to vaccines. Have I gotten boosted? Have I, like, it got way intense. And I was like, what in the world? Is this just what the NFL is requiring now if you're going to be hanging around?
Mhm.
You have to give them a whole
I don't.
resume about what affiliation you're a part of and what stance you took on the vaccine in the last 4 years, and what you're going to do in the next. Oh, and it even asked me about monkeypox.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Asked me if I'd known anyone that had gotten the monkeypox vaccination. It was very intrusive. I was surprised that they send that out.
You know why they were asking you that?
Oh yeah,
Because for some reason or another, and this
they're selling it.
blows my mind, but they're trying to label this as like a homosexual thing. The monkeypox stuff.
Yeah,
Well, that was
They look
just
at
one
Matt.
question. The majority of the questions was the
picked up on it.
majority of the questions was political and COVID.
Did you tell him you went
And
to New
they
York?
asked about the flu too.
Did you tell him you just returned from New York a couple
No,
weeks
they didn't
ago?
ask that.
And you were in the Brambles for a while?
No, this was a survey. I didn't get to
No.
ask questions or tell them.
I mean,
I
you
should
just let it-
I should have done it in the comment section. Let me tell you something about this whole thing.
We hung out outside the Dakota, walked over to the Brambles
Rubbed
for a
our
little
butt,
bit.
rubbed our butt on the floor, in all efforts to get monkeypox, and we did not get it.
Like a dog with worms, like
Yeah.
scooting across the carpet.
We were scooting across New York on our butts, trying
We went
to get
to the Lennon Memorial,
monkeypox.
and we imagined that we had monkeypox.
I identify as somebody that
Do
doesn't
you-
want to be on this jury.
I went to the museum this weekend.
Wait, hold on. What was this questionnaire for? I'm still confused on this.
for my trip. Like I'm gonna be
okay.
I'm going to a hotel for a whole weekend, going playing golf, and then
They
going
wanted
to
that. The hotel wanted that.
either the hotel or the Cowboys,
Oh no! What?
What do the Cowboys
or
have to
because it
have?
wasn't. I don't think it was the beer company that I'm going with, but they might have done it. I guess.
Huh.
This has turned into.
I just
something
figured it was something because you were telling me, but that was about AT&T, wasn't it?
I thought that's when you're gone.
That's what I thought. No, this is going to be. I'm going to be staying at like a local
Of this month?
October.
You're gone that week, aren't you?
Coming right back.
And
I'll
you're
be
going
back
straight to
and then going
that?
straight to the hotel at the out in
At the place?
at the place and staying the weekend playing golf and then partying and then going to the game on Sunday. Rockstar life, homie.
Wow. And then do you have a
And I'll probably hook up with you and be on the field.
and then Merciful Fate, and then
When's Merciful
Methinks
Fate?
Tuesday.
The next Like-
When the Methinks are supposed to be on, which we need to talk about.
on October
I think we should
25th.
all just go to the Merciful Fate. All
Yeah.
of us in the Methinks.
I want to go. I've never seen Merciful Fate.
This is a
where
weird
again?
tour. It's at the Factory.
Okay.
It's King Diamond's original
That'll be
band
fun.
from
Is it the Bomb Factory?
yeah.
Yeah.
That'll be a good
It'll be
show.
good.
The visuals. I've seen
be
some
good.
of the pictures.
Yeah, it's all upside down crosses and
Yeah,
and nuns being burned and
and
all
then
sorts
this
of stuff.
good guy with his guitar, just like
Hey guys, how's it going?
yeah, it's funny.
It is. The shows that they've been playing, that the Psycho Fest show was like, what
Yeah.
the hell? All this crazy anti-religious imagery, and then guys just smiling and having fun.
These guys
They're
that would be living next door to you, cutting your yard and stuff. Hey, cut your yard, man.
Well, I mean,
You want to come over for some barbecue?
King Diamond does live in North Dallas, so there's a reason it starts here. All right. Yeah, so you brought up the Uncle Toasty September 2nd show that was supposed to happen on Friday. The show still happened. It's just Uncle Toasty wasn't part of the show.
Right.
And just to clear things up for the time being, because I received 64 text messages and direct messages on Thursday alone.
It's one of the first things I asked you when I walked in.
Everything's
Seems like you could put an automatic response on your
Yeah.
text.
leave me the fuck alone.
We're all good.
Show's been canceled.
Deal with it. The show was canceled because there's some stuff going on that I'm not
Privy.
privy to talk about publicly.
Yeah, it's personal.
It's a personal issue. The band's not broken up. Everything's okay. There's just some issues that need to be taken care of over the next few weeks. And once those are all cleared up, no one's in prison, no one's in jail, no one's killed anyone, no
and I'm
one's
not gay.
and no one's
Stop
serving jury
asking.
duty.
And I don't have AIDS.
Everything's a-okay. Okay, so
Anybody in the chat room know what that's from?
I don't.
I think I've got it right here. Let's see here.
No, don't play
Hold
it
on.
again.
Brittany and Johnson and Fritz are my best friends, man. Thanks for coming out and hanging with me. I've had a hard time lately, but it's cool.
Is that you, Stubbs?
With y'all, it's cool.
Here it is.
It's our show. I don't know why
And
I
I
said
don't have AIDS. That's not what I'm saying.
He's going through a hard time, but he wanted to
I'm
make
pretty
sure.
sure I was lit.
Man, my bass tone sounded good then.
When was
It
this?
sounded really good.
You sound a little younger. in that
Probably
audio
10
clip.
years ago.
Yeah, we were a little younger.
Yeah, at least. Well, no, it's probably 12 years ago.
Yeah.
12, 13 years ago. So anyway, yeah. Our shows have to be, or we're going to cancel the shows we had coming up until this is cleared up. Everything's but the band's still going. Things are still trucking along. No one died. That was the first thing was, did y'all break up? And then the second most asked question was, did someone die?
Who OD'd?
Yeah. No
Well-
one's dead. The band's not broken up. So just wipe that off your radar.
Well,
Everything.
The reason
be
everybody
back.
was all up in arms is because the message that went out was so.
Ominous.
It,
Yeah, cryptic.
Yeah, ominous is
There
a
you
good
go.
word too. Yeah.
I tried to tell the
Cryptic and
guys that. I was
ominous.
like, that message is really cryptic. You might want to get in there and edit it.
Yeah.
And no one would. So finally, I was just like, fuck it. I went in there and edited it all up and made it a little cleaner so that way
Yeah.
it would help.
You know, last time we were sitting
Stop
here
the text
talking about
messages.
what's going on in our local musician community. We were talking a lot about fentanyl, and how it's
Yeah.
wiping people out. I was like, huh.
Well, it's funny you bring that up.
Is it?
No, it's not.
Oh.
So, Saturday, I want to. This was a long holiday weekend. Stubbs, did you have anything go down? Exciting?
I got terrible. Well, I had my girls. I got terrible sinuses, and I think it's from all the rain. But
It's
I
not
did
from
make it
them?
out to the museum.
Yeah, how was that?
I mean, dude, we just got back from the museums of museums, so it was kind of like,
You didn't go to the MoMA either. You went or to the Fort Worth Modern. You went over to
yeah,
the
I just
Kimball.
went to one of the sides of the Kimball because the other side wasn't open.
Really?
Yeah, I guess they're doing some kind of construction or something. But it was cool. I had a good time.
Did y'all make it out to Cidercade?
No, once I found out you weren't there, I thought you were there.
I
when you
was
sent
waiting
that.
for you to call me
Yeah,
to be like, "Let's go,"
I should have gone.
and I would have gone.
But it was one of those days where kind of like we were talking about before the show, where everything looks bright and sunny, and next thing you know, it's
where everything
torrential
sucks.
downpour.
You don't want to wake up and everything sucks.
Yeah, yeah, it's just one of those days.
And it did pour while you were there.
Yeah, but it was cool. One thing I don't remember when we were in New York, I don't remember many of the people that were working at the museums having masks on.
No one in New
They
York
are
really had masks on.
Fully masked still
That's
at the
wild.
Kimball.
Yeah, everybody in New York is giving
That's-
up on all this.
I would have thought
That
New
was the
York-
thing that was funny. That's what I was telling the people that I went with. I was like, in New York, where I went to my last museums.
Right.
Because you're an international
Just had
man
his
of museums
had his
now.
nose
It's-
turned up the whole time he was at the Kimball.
I was like, the workers didn't. The workers didn't have any mask on.
Common folk.
But here, it's like it's mandatory, I guess, that they have to wear masks still. And I'm like, come on,
in
man,
our
you're
museum?
virtue signaling.
All the
You're in Fort
museums we
Worth.
went to in New York, no one wore masks.
So you're saying at the Kimball everybody was masked up?
They were doing more virtue signaling at Kimball than the ones in New York. All the ones we
It
went
was
to New York.
so over the top that every face in the paintings had masks on too. They had taped them up there. They're like, this Renoir, we're just gonna put a bunch of masks
That'd be
up
funny.
here and
That'd be really funny.
with some what is it? Some frog tape. It won't pull
Yeah.
the paint off at all. I've seen the commercials.
But it's funny when you go through a museum, a whole museum in about 45 minutes to an hour, and up there, that would be like an 16th of the museum you just went through.
That's another person I was waiting to hear from. Jay Smith. It was our birthday weekend. I was waiting for hot plans about that. Running around town, setting shit on fire,
Antifa style.
forcing masks on people.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Jennifer Smith.
And there's Susie. Hey, Susie.
And happy birthday, Susie.
Happy birthday.
We've started
Everyone.
Susie Palooza yet? We're a month and a half out. Or a month out. Saturday I woke up and watched Saturday was the only day I really did anything. My whole weekend got jacked up and screwed up because I was up and down emotionally, and we're gonna get in this right now. Saturday I woke up and I watched Formula One qualifying at 8 a.m. Because now,
Saturday?
yeah, I've just fallen completely off.
What'd you
I
think
just
of that
watched fucking
pigeon
everything.
red flag?
Pigeon red flag.
Yeah.
There was
Had
pigeons.
to red flag
and-
the qualifying. I think it was the third round too, wasn't
Way
it?
different.
Wasn't it the third round?
The third round, a guy that worked there, because now the
Had to
videos
go-
come out, a guy that worked there ran down. There was pigeons, and they were trying to get the pigeons off the track because
Right.
there's a certain corner where pigeons congregate,
Yeah.
and it can be very dangerous
Sure.
if a car hits those
It's
at
going fast.
200 miles an
Yeah.
hour.
For the pigeon and the driver.
But then another stop down was this guy threw a flare on the track, one
Yeah.
of the big smoke flares.
Like a spectator, or
Come to find out, it's a guy that worked there, and there's all sorts of conspiracy theories behind this, why he did that and everything. Because it just so happened to be after Verstappen qualified and got the fastest time.
yeah,
and
a
it-
celebration.
Yeah, and then it stopped everything.
Oh,
down.
you mean
'Cause there was still time
conspiracy
for
theory
people-
about someone to make a run at it at the time.
to get pole over him. Because there was still like a minute, almost 2 minutes left when they threw that flare out on the track, and there's all sorts of.
well, what
crazy
does that
shit.
indicate? I mean, is that a
Well, a lot of people, the people in the stands will light off
Yeah.
smoke flares
And the Euros.
for the colors
yeah?
of
They
whoever
do
they're
it,
there
I think
for.
they do it at the Portland football matches and the Seattle Sounders. Don't they do it some too?
Yeah, they'll. It's just smoke.
it's a Euro
it's
thing,
just,
no more than
seems
anything.
really
it's just a
dangerous.
smoke bomb, is all it is.
Yeah, but that's a hot flame.
Well, a lot of the new ones don't have flames, like the ones they use for photo shoots.
Oh, okay.
Are flameless and don't really get hot. But they'll throw them around and shit, and you'll watch some of these races, like the one or 2 weeks ago. That was just, I don't understand how anybody lived through that. There was so much smoke at the end of the race. Like, I would have been coughing and freaking out because it's just orange. The entire track is orange because they're in the Netherlands, Holland region, and the
They
number
do-
one driver right now is from up there, so they all
Yeah.
celebrate and go nuts.
Man,
So that's
he
why they're
is
all
on
orange.
a roll too.
He's on fire, dude.
Yeah,
So, yeah, I watched qualifying, and then my phone popped up, and someone sent me a message. Says, "Hey, are you watching the Taylor Hawkins tribute concert? It's about to start." And this is right after qualifying, so it was like 11:30 our time.
yeah.
And I was like, holy shit. So I flip over to Paramount because you could stream it on Paramount. And I didn't know till almost the end you could stream it on YouTube too. And the next thing I know, I've sat there for 6 hours,
Watch the whole thing.
watched the whole thing, and it was an emotional roller coaster from top to bottom because it started out super sad because the band, Foo Fighters, came out. Dave gave this speech. They were crying on stage. It's the first time they've all been together in front of an audience
Oh, wow.
since
What, 3 years ago?
the incident or earlier this year. Close.
About 2-3 months, maybe.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Maybe 6 months, but yeah,
Jesus. Okay.
really close. And they, so then they all part ways and they bring out immediately Liam Gallagher from Oasis and they rip through Oasis songs. And so this turns into a cover fest. Like they're just bringing out friends and all sorts of shit. And it's badass. Totally badass. And found myself watching all of it.
March 25th.
So, yeah.
Definitely not 3 years ago.
No, not 3 years.
Right. Established.
Of 2022, by the way.
Got it.
Then throughout the night, they're just bringing people out. They brought Rush out. They brought Queen out. And I'm like, God damn, this is a whole who's who of everything, The first time them Crooked Vultures have played together in 12 years.
Wow, it's already been 12 years since they played.
Yeah.
I just looked it up.
Goodness,
It was,
man.
4 weeks ago.
Josh, yeah. Well, your timetable's weird,
Just
man.
don't let me miss the event.
Yeah, we already had it. What are you talking
Oh,
about?
God damn it.
But Josh from Queen's Stone Age came out with Nile Rodgers, and they ripped through some Bowie tunes. And God, Josh sounded just like David Bowie. If you closed your eyes, he sang, I forgot what the song was. God dang it! But he sounded dead on. Like I just closed my eyes and was like, holy shit! And he should do that. Like do a whole Queens of Stone Age should do a whole Bowie set. I think. Because it was so
I'd be
good.
down.
And then at the end of the night, once everything kind of ran through the gamut, the Foo Fighters came out and played, and Dave couldn't get through the first song. He broke down crying in the middle of the song. because he played Times Like These, and it stopped it all down. And then he composed himself, and the band went on to finish it. And the set was badass. And then out of nowhere, they're like, we have another special guest that just decided to show up. We weren't expecting him, and don't really know what's going to happen here, but here's Paul McCartney.
Jesus Christ.
And Paul walks out, and he's like, you guys know this one, and rips through, I can't remember what he ripped through first, but then they went through Helter Skelter. I totally went blank on what they did first. But it was just like, and he's making these stories up. He's like, before Helter Skelter, he's like, this is an old song that Taylor and Dave helped me write years ago, and Taylor had this grand idea on drums, and we were going to double drum it, and then him and Dave got into a drum contest. But anyway, it goes something like this. And he just starts playing Helter Skelter, and you see the rest of the band go, oh yeah, I know how to play this. Okay. And they played it, and then they finished out. The second to last song, they played My Hero and brought out Taylor's son, who's 16 years old, and plays exactly like Taylor does. Like the mannerisms, the way he does his face, the way he's smiling and yelling and going nuts.
I want to see this. This sounds. I mean,
it's all on
That's a
YouTube now.
goosebump moment.
Yeah, it's
right
all
there.
over the. It was all
It
over
was
the webs too.
Awesome. And then Dave closed out solo with Everlong, and that was the end of the 6 hours. And now they come to the States to do it. And I was like, oh, let's see. How much will it cost me if I go out to
$700.
LA to do this?
$700. 800.
You're way off.
Higher or lower?
3,000
for the
entry.
cheapest.
Oh, not for cheapers. This is 3,000 for like where I want to sit.
Oh. Well, these sounds like you need to lower your expectations, sir.
No, sir.
I'm not a
I've
fan.
gotten here
I'm going to be
because
honest.
I think about it up there.
I'm going to be honest. I don't like tribute shows. I'm not a fan of them. I don't know what the deal is. They just they come off hokey.
After the
Especially
entire...
the guy when like I understand some of the guys that were close to him and stuff, but they just come off hokey sometimes. And I'm like, this one seemed cool. I haven't watched all of it. I've only watched the of course when Grohl breaks down.
Did you
Which
watch
you
when
knew was
Brian
gonna
Johnson
happen.
came out?
Yeah,
I wasn't
was
expecting
cool.
that either.
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck yeah.
yeah, that was wild.
Yeah.
Who else played with?
Totally
There was
wouldn't
someone else.
expect
Who else played with Brian Johnson in that?
Lars was on
It
drums.
was Lars. That's right.
But I was like, Brian Johnson, what the
Yeah.
hell? Because I thought he couldn't sing or do anything anymore because of his
cancer,
dementia.
maybe? Oh, does he have dementia?
I thought it was dementia. He had cancer. He beat it.
Or is it?
And I thought he started getting stages of dementia.
Or
But
did-
he sang all those songs like
yeah,
just no big deal.
yeah, he's a champ.
Kind of like Ozzy. You see him, hobble out,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden he turns into the Prince of Darkness and starts singing all these songs like because he's sung them forever.
We've established that that's
Satan.
been an act for decades now. Him playing up
probably.
his mental state
Sharon,
with that bullshit.
Sharon.
So then to top off my day of sadness,
Give us some more
there's
sadness, man.
sadness?
I went down to our buddy Jay Wilkinson has a gallery called Dang Good Candy down in Sundance, and he threw together a special event for his stepdad, who I worked with for over 20 years. And
At the Evil Empire?
at the Evil Empire. He retired about 2 years ago, year and a half, 2 years ago. And shortly after he retired, he was diagnosed with liver cancer.
How crazy is that?
Yeah, that sucks, man. You work a whole career and then right
happens
after you
all the
find
time.
out. I know.
I have a
wild.
feeling he knew beforehand because his last few months he just didn't give a shit and was there just having fun with all of us and enjoying it while he could. And I think he knew and was like, you know what, I'm gonna go out having fun with the guys
gonna do
that
it
I'm
on my
friends with
terms.
and do stuff, how I want to, and I'm gonna go out and just
Do it on my terms.
do that.
That's
Well,
what
anyway,
you want to do, right?
He was, before he came to work for the Evil Empire, and even while he worked at the Evil Empire, he did a lot of graphic design work, a ton. When he was in the military, he did a lot of instruction manuals for like ejection systems and F-16 and all sorts of stuff that he drew out
Yeah.
and graphed. And then he did a bunch of graphic art for different bands. He did flyers. He did press laminates, tour posters, shirts, all sorts of stuff like that. And then he did more contemporary stuff like some oil paintings, pencils, drawings, nudes, landscapes and animals and stuff. And basically what Jay did was gathered a bunch of his stuff up and built out this retrospective of his life and did it chronologically around the gallery.
Oh, wow.
That's cool.
And it was fucking awesome. Now, here's what he did was it was all a surprise. Because Larry thought he was going down there to see one of Jay's new exhibits.
Oh, shit.
And when he walked in the door, it was all friends and family from all over. From he graduated from LD Bell also. So a bunch of the guys he graduated with, blues artist Buddy Whittington, his family was there. Because he did a bunch of work for him. And just it was the place was packed with people that knew him and loved him. He even if you've read this week's Fort Worth Weekly, he's on the cover of the Fort Worth Weekly. His art's on the cover of the Fort Worth Weekly. Eddie Brown
Copy. I don't remember.
did a write up. It's got the eagle on it.
Okay, yeah.
Hand-drawn, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Eddie Brown did a good little write up on it. He was down there, and it was a really really cool event. And you know, I walked up to him. I was like, "Man, wait, what do you think about all this?" He's like, "I don't know. I'm still soaking it all." He's like, "I can't believe this."
Wow. Yeah.
He's like, "I haven't even gone all the way around the gallery yet." And shortly after that, Jay came over, and he's in a wheelchair now. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
And pushed him around the gallery, and it was awesome. It was a really really cool night. You know, makes you think about a lot of things. I left there just my mind just racing.
This was all,
And
everything
thinking
you were
about
just
stuff.
talking about was this weekend?
Was Saturday night, and it just
It's too
like
much.
it really like my whole my Saturday was like I said, a huge roller coaster
Did
ride.
you switch to Velcro shoes by the end of the day?
I switched to very very heavy whiskey, very very high dollar heavy whiskey. That was good, but it was heavy. It was a crazy day, but I'm glad he got that while he's still here.
Yeah.
Because
That was this. This is weird.
That's awesome.
Just
What is
kidding.
that?
That's not.
that's
I
not it.
wasn't there.
Oh, well, I like it anyway.
yeah, I do too. But that was my Saturday. Sunday, I really didn't do much. That was me climbing out of the hole on Sunday, and then Monday, I took those last few steps climbing out of the hole. It took 2
Jesus.
days to recover. I was like, shit.
Well, you picked a good day for recovery then. Sunday was beautiful. The weather was great.
Till it came a torrential
It
downpour.
was a good
here.
way to end all that beauty. Yeah. It was
Yeah,
pretty
we'll have
wild.
rain again. Probably what, 6 months.
Yeah,
That was our little rain. Actually, we're getting into the good time of year, so it's gonna.
we
rain
are. It's time to camp.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
You know what's
we had much
happening
fun.
this week, don't you?
What?
The tent goes back on top of my truck.
Because you got to be ready.
I will be at the ready.
Is
Yeah.
that your Forerunner?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got a rooftop tent for it, so it's going back on it tonight.
Is that thing hard to get up there and mount?
It's 100 pounds. Takes at least 2
Well,
people.
the neighbors get upset
Yeah.
when you mount it.
Why? Because you got to ask them to come over
Kind
and
of
help.
weird.
Kind of weird. There's a man mounting his car right there.
I think there's a Reddit called Dragons Fucking Cars or something like that.
I don't want to see that.
You really don't.
No, I don't.
So, did you do anything exciting this weekend, Andrew, as we turn to you?
Before you got into Sad Saturday, I was trying to brainstorm, and then you threw me off track. I can't remember a whole lot. I've been preparing for that event. Man.
That's what I was going to say. You've been spending this weekend preparing.
Ducking your head and doing work, huh?
I took some breaks though. We went out to the lake, and that's the first time I'd been out to Eagle Mountain this summer.
You got a
And-
boat?
No, not anymore. I used to have a 25 or 26 foot long cuddy cabin. It was a Glastron with a Maricruz 5.3,
What the
and
fuck? Let's go fishing,
man,
man.
it was sweet. It was sweet.
Well, he
You could-
doesn't have. You don't
I
have
don't
it
have
anymore,
it
right?
anymore. I got rid of
Get
it.
it back. Let's go fishing.
Well, the thing was, it was a 1990, and that bitch had problems.
Oh, yeah.
You couldn't sleep in it with the engine running, which is what you had to do to. Well, no, even with the engine off, if you had shore power on, there would still be just an absurd amount of fumes from the engine.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
You couldn't sleep in the.
That's
damn
the way
thing.
my grandpa's whaler was. It's like
So what I would do is I'd open the engine compartment, I'd put a box fan in there, point it out, and that would work. But now you're trapped in the boat, kind of like you'd have to figure out how to navigate that if you need to exit the boat. But anyway, got rid of it, and I'd love to have another one. But I love that Eagle Mountain Lake. My
Eagle
second
Mountain Lake's awesome.
second favorite lake is PK, but Eagle Mountain's right here,
Yeah.
and it's,
PK's
it's not
awesome
bad.
too. We got some awesome lakes within hour and a half drive from
Yeah.
here.
And then
Man,
East
Ray
Texas has a
Roberts
bunch
is
of-
awesome.
Yeah,
Ray Roberts is the best crappie lake I think in the country. The country.
you a big crappie man?
I used to. I don't fish much anymore.
You ever
but I
done
used
any
to.
offshore
lot of-
fishing?
Yeah.
That ruined freshwater fishing for me.
It does.
Oh, really?
doesn't it?
Yeah.
It did for me
It
for
is
a
fun.
long time.
I have not been freshwater fishing in a decade, and
I
it
went
all
on a
ended
spoiler
with,
one too. Like I went on a buddy's boat, like way out, like 60 miles outside of like going away from Pensacola into the Gulf.
Oh damn!
Yeah, and I got spoiled. My first deep sea fishing trip, I was like, when I came back and a group of friends of mine wanted to go down to like Port Aransas or something and go take one of those charters. Like, this is fucking stupid. They're all having a blast. I'm like, this isn't a deep sea.
See, and I
fishing
wonder about
trip.
that because I got a friend I graduated with, and she's always like, "Come down, bring your buddies. Let's go down. Let's go fishing."
She has a boat.
Yeah, they
Do
they do a charter.
Yeah. Well, the charters. That's the thing. Is I think when you go on charters, you go to places that are usually fished. They tell you they're not taking you to places that are always fished, but they are. They're taking you to places that are
I've
always
got
fished.
waypoints saved. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's what was cool about this trip. This was all private and just two fishing buddies that go get their bait in the bay. Like we would go out we went out this lagoon, found caught up to someone, bought bait, and then just went out into the ocean. It was kind of scary too.
It is. Yeah.
See, and
Saw
she's-
some weird stuff out there.
She was
too.
always like, "We'll go
You
get
should
some
do it.
shark. We'll go get some. Let's all go down there and do it."
Big trip.
Let's
I'm
do
down.
it.
I'm not
And
kidding,
then-
dude. I've been looking for an
I'm
excuse.
I'm not going to turn down any fishing trip,
Yeah. Well, we did one out of
But you
Port
do.
Aransas that was.
but I did.
You do.
When?
Let's go out the grasslands and go fishing. I'm busy. Let's go out the Brazos.
If I have something going on. But do you know how many times? It's funny you said that because you know how many times I used my fishing license this year?
Zero?
Zero. I fished in
It
Arkansas.
just expired, didn't it?
Yeah, it just
God
expired.
Damn it!
I fished in Arkansas, but I didn't fish in Texas.
I
So
had a red
absolutely
drum tag.
zero.
I had a red drum tag that I wanted to go down and use.
Should have tried.
The only place that I know of is Port Aransas. They've got this place called Dolphin Dogs, and we did an 80-hour fishing trip out of there. And
Damn.
when I say miserable,
Yeah.
it was absolutely
too long.
miserable.
I get done.
But it's an experience, and
Yeah.
I would love to experience.
What'd
that
y'all
with
pull
you.
in?
Everything. There was yellowfin, blackfin, a couple barracudas.
Snappers.
I don't know the difference between swordfish and the ones that look like swordfish.
Mar-
Let me
Marlins.
let me
Marlins
pause you.
and
swordfish.
Was
What?
it you that are freaked out by barracudas or just Savage?
Did we already talk about this?
Y'all did this on the show.
Oh yeah, man.
Your
I don't
show
play
last
with
week.
barracudas.
Barracudas freak me the fuck out
Why
too.
they
crazy.
don't? Okay,
They're
it's
crazy.
funny because they look scary
It's
as
a demon.
fuck.
It's
but
a fucking demon.
but I've been snorkeling when a few came by and they took off.
yeah,
Like they don't ever get close to you.
Well, they're
They're
always
like,
in
"Fuck this."
pairs, and it's
But
like when you're snorkeling, like in Cozumel, you're snorkeling. All of a sudden, you see
Yeah.
silver, and you look over, and it's like
Oh,
these
yeah.
barracuda,
It's
these two barracuda, and they're
It's a
just
flash.
like
Yeah,
watching you.
it's like a giant piranha
And
with
you're
a long piranha.
and these teeth that come out, you're like,
Their teeth,
Yeah.
they look
Oh,
brutal.
God.
I don't like that.
You can
at
kind of
all.
see through their face too, like
Yeah,
they're
they're
bony and scary.
Have
they're
you
not
ever-
of this world.
Have you ever
No.
caught a robin fish down in the Gulf?
Are we done with barracudas?
No, I mean
I still wanna
we can
talk shit.
We can talk about the song now. We can talk about the song now.
Barracuda are creepy.
But yeah, the that's the thing that I would say is always a nod towards the deep sea fishing and the ocean fishing. You have no idea what you're going to pull up. You can be on a dock in down, in Surfside, Texas, and pull up a flounder, and you're like, "Well, how the hell did that get on my line?"
Yeah.
And whereas when you're fishing inland, you kind of know, okay, this is probably going to be a crappie, bass,
You know by what
catfish,
what bait
or-
you're using,
where you're
and
at.
how you're
Exactly,
rigging it, where
exactly.
you're at, what you're going for.
But that you might have a kraken get your line in the ocean.
And the exotic stuff is cool, man. But just fighting a tuna I mean,
Oh
Mhm.
yeah,
they get so
they'll
goddamn
beat
big.
the hell and they'll
And
beat the
you
hell out of you.
wear out, and
Yeah.
they dead weight you
And I'm telling
or
you,
turn
that,
sideways or whatever,
yeah,
and
yeah,
pull
they
you
flatten
away.
out. You're
Yeah,
pulling.
There's
the
some of
ocean
those
with
fish
you.
they got to strap you in.
That's the thing. Yeah,
It's like they strap in. This is
I
a
was
big one.
when I caught my Spanish mackerel.
Yeah.
I was strapped in, but I was also 11 years old. So
Well, and I was an idiot. And
Mackerel
everybody's
could have
like,
ate you though.
you want to wear this belt. And I'm looking at that belt and how stupid everybody looks wearing them. And I'm like,
The-
I don't
the
need
weird
that.
dick holster
Yeah.
for
Dude,
the rod.
I fought that tuna for maybe 3 minutes. And I was like, please give me a belt.
yeah,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And but that, I'm telling you, that's what ruined freshwater fishing for me.
You know
was
what
fighting tunas.
the longest it took me to reel in a fish was I was a kid in junior high and we put some wire leaders on it, Lake Tawakoni or Whitney, I can't remember, one of those lakes. And we fished alligator gar and I
Oh,
hooked
shit.
one and I caught like a 4-foot one. It took me like 35 minutes to get it in.
Now,
My
that's a
grandpa didn't even pull it in. He just pulled it up to the boat and like
Killed
'cause-
it?
Yeah, well, didn't kill it, just unhooked it.
I'd have killed
with
that
some
ugly
pliers.
bitch. That's a scary looking fish.
Remember the rumors
are
that were going
creepy.
around
Mhm.
a couple of years ago about how alligator gar were killing people? There was some, I think Gordo was all.
well, I thought
He was
some
all
guy had
freaking
his
out.
leg gnawed off by one or something.
Yeah, I think
He was
Gordo
in
looked
but it was
into
like,
it.
It was like down south, like Beaumont area or
Yeah,
something. Like an
that's-
alligator gar
Sat
ripped his
there
leg
And it was in
off.
Cheated on
shallow
him.
water and all this. I think
Yeah.
Gordo looked all that up and it was all folklore.
Or it was an alligator instead of an alligator gar. It was an actual alligator.
You know, like here in Lake Worth, all the stories coming out of there, it's like, there's no
About the alligators?
There's no alligators in there.
Seen
and then,
'em.
Yeah, and then you meet people that have actually, and I haven't seen them either, but I
Been
know, I
there.
know enough people
Seen
that
them.
have seen them.
I
yeah.
wrestled one once.
I got
We-
one in my living room.
Me and
I-
a buddy were rolling
name's
around on
Fred.
that Discovery Island or whatever the shit it is. And
Greer or goat.
not goat. The one that you can ride your bike out on.
That's Greer.
Is that
Greer,
Greer?
Greer Island.
That's in the wildlife
Nature Center.
Nature
yeah.
Center.
The preserve.
And
The
we
preserve.
we were up early one morning. We went out there and started riding our mountain bikes all through there, and then went over the island, went across the dam, and then went over the island. We're going around the island. Came around the corner. And there were two laying right there on the beach.
Jesus.
And we're like,
Sunbathing.
what the fuck?
Just
Yeah.
catching some rays.
I've seen them up on that hill by the observatory. Like when you go up and you where you can view where that where the it kind of is fed by what is that, a river or a creek that feeds
it's
into
run
it?
off from, I guess, the Trinity system, right?
Is it?
I think so. I don't know.
Well, I've seen some down there.
Yeah.
I was like, what the heck?
Yeah, they do exist.
There's real alligator.
I'll show you.
They're among us.
They're among us. So's the
The goat man?
Well, the goat man, yeah,
He's
for sure.
definitely there.
The goat man is
The,
definitely there.
Since 1969.
The pythons.
Oh no! What?
My arms.
They're finding.
Are we in
They're
Florida
finding.
now?
They're finding anacondas everywhere now
Shut
because
up,
of.
man.
I
Come on,
promise, man. They
what?
all started coming in through
In my
Miami, and now
pants.
they all Ubered to Texas and stuff now. They're all hanging out here with their
I've met
bros.
too many finicky Uber drivers with all their stupid rules to know that no
That's a lie.
anaconda is going to be making an Uber drive here.
Maybe it
There's
was
just no way.
Lyft.
Okay, Lyft. Okay, that makes
It
sense.
could have been Lyft.
I'm still banned by Uber.
So
makes
this
sense.
Lyft is
is
staying
That
hard.
adds
though. They're
up.
like Lyft is like, we got you, man.
this is 3 weeks ago. If you go on the nature reserve, I got a buddy that goes up there and kayaks
Yeah.
and fishes.
It's really nice there.
He goes all the way up to the Eagle Mountain Dam
Mhm.
to where the fence is there. That was 3 weeks ago.
Oh shit! Show your camera. I'll hold it a little sideways. There you go. Jesus, that looks like a bit. Well, I mean, there's no
And then-
scale, but it looks like a big bitch.
That's him, or that's another one rolling away from him.
Oh,
up
it's
into the fence.
moving.
Yeah,
It's a video. That makes it way more fucked up.
yeah. He was just like, and my buddy dropped his
That's
oar.
Eagle Mountain.
That's Eagle Mountain. That's the dam of Eagle Mountain leading into Lake Worth up north of the Nature Center.
Damn.
But they used to come up to the boat dock, the old boat dock, there at Eagle Mountain all the time too, and Blue Bayou that's up towards the north end of northeast
Oh,
end
yeah,
of the
yeah.
lake up
Across
there.
from the resort. Yeah,
Yeah.
Blue Bayou.
That there used to be gators all up in there all the time too.
Yeah.
So I don't know where all these people are like. There's no gators in there. Yeah, there fucking is. There's
100%.
gators in the Trinity and the river bottom down
Yeah.
here.
100%.
They find them in River Legacy every once in a
Yeah.
while. I mean,
I don't know
they're
why-
gonna be around.
Is it ignorant to like not be worried about that? I'm actually way more worried about snakes than I would ever be worried about.
What I've
alligators.
always been told is that when an alligator builds a nest or finds a place to live,
Yeah.
they rarely travel within outside of like 150 yards of that area.
Hmm.
and that they're definitely more scared of you than they are
Sure.
you of them or whatever. They will run. They're not
Yeah.
going to just come right up and attack you. Now, what's bad is like you go out on these, like you go down to New Orleans and you go out on these swamp boat tours. They're feeding the gators, and the gators know at this time a boat's going to come by. I know to come out because they're going to feed me these giant chicken,
Yeah.
and it's time for me to eat. So they jump up out of the water and eat the chicken and do all this shit, but they know. It's basically like they're trained circus performers.
Yeah.
Wasn't there a show a while back where they were going around the bayou and like taking deer rifles out and shoot, like they would draw them in somehow, maybe with chicken, and the alligators would come up and they'd shoot them.
That was a show?
Yeah, it's like Gator Hunter or something like that on Discovery.
Well, they seem like
It's-
they reproduce pretty easy, so it's almost
I
like
think
a
so.
nuisance.
You can pull a tag
species.
on them. It's
Probably
it takes
here in
a bit.
Texas?
Yeah, I think it's a lottery system, but you can lottery a tag.
Yeah,
And it's for certain counties. So you have to stay within that county. Of course, most of them are down south. No one's hunting them up here. But
so do you have to tag them in where those shows were at, like the Louisiana and Mississippi?
Might be different
In Florida?
because it's so
maybe
is it
different, but this is
prevalent.
Texas. Like if you pull a tag in Harris County, you got to hunt your alligator in Harris County. You got to be in a, and you've got to prove it.
Do they ever
You've
have
gotta
like
tag it and take
open
it to
gator season like they do does, where they'll open up a county and
too
let you
many.
kill as many does as you want?
like
Got
they did
bad enough.
Kimball
Yeah,
10 years
Or-
ago or 5
was it-
years ago or something like that.
I think there was a lot of counties that did it for the does,
I know Kimball because
especially down.
we went down to Junction for a reunion.
Yeah,
And it was open
"Kill all the
season
does you
then,
want."
and we were talking because like 3 whitetail walked up right in my great grandmother's front yard.
She just went out there with a 44 and shot it.
I was like, if I could get to my truck in back, I would just pop, pop, pop.
And
So I have
I
a
totally
friend.
Ice Cube on them. What's up, bitch? Pop.
I have a friend
sideways.
that
Sideways.
wants
Get the
that
gangster
runs
tilt.
a hog hunting event thing, and they supply the guns, they supply the ammo, they supply everything. All you do is
The
go
helicopter?
kill. They don't have a helicopter yet.
Damn it. I want to shoot
They
from a
don't have one
helicopter.
yet, but it's like 300. I'm like, I don't know, man. I could probably just go to someone's land and
That's what I
like,
was going to bring up are the hogs. Like I
Yeah.
think it is permanent open season on
Mhm.
those things because they're so prevalent.
Used to, you had to pull a tag. And
No, I bet not now.
anymore.
I-
You always
It
like-
has changed that you can.
I mean,
but you don't want to kill a javelina or something the wrong. Like if you kill the wrong hog, like these hogs that are a nuisance are a different breed.
The javelina,
gotta-
you have to worry about her down in like the south.
I
Northeast.
was about to say I didn't
No,
think we had those
southwest.
over. This redneck would not
No,
know the
the
difference.
javelina are thick in northeast Texas
Really?
and Arkansas.
Maybe
Huh.
up there.
There's-
but
there- there is
though,
another
in
hog,
Big
though.
Ben.
There's
in Big
another
Ben, there's
hog.
javelina everywhere.
Yeah, there's another hog too that's in That's a native Texan hog. That's yeah.
The ones that are bitches, the boars and the Russian boars, they're breeding and they're
Those-
making this weird cross.
and they're going to Chernobyl, hanging out,
And
taking
they're
baths.
They're just fucking like eating Ukrainians left and right. You want to shoot them.
taking over borders. Javelinas
They've killed
are,
more Ukrainians than the Russians have.
Yeah.
Javelinas are the really aggressive ones, right?
I think so.
Unless we were talking about this today because there's two. Well, there's a pet I want really, really bad.
The javelina.
Javelina.
Nope. It's a warthog.
That's it. The warthog. The warthog is in Africa, right?
Yeah.
Well,
Is it?
it's in that Disney cartoon. I thought.
But so you can
Ba-boom,
domesticate a
ba-wop,
warthog
ba-wop,
really
ba-boom,
quick,
ba-wop.
and even if they're older, you can domesticate
What?
them really quick.
Yeah,
Really?
this is really
Yeah.
wild too because they change.
No pun intended.
Ah, it's actually very domesticated.
Yeah. So they
But they lose their
I
tusk.
didn't know
the
that,
hair
man.
changes.
they'll lose their tusk. Yeah.
Their aggressiveness kind of.
They're aggressive. Like the ones we had around our camp in Africa would just come up to you and play with you like they're dogs.
I'm
like
sorry,
they just
what?
rub up.
Your camp in Africa?
Yeah.
I missed that episode.
We have a camp down there we go to
We
every
have,
once
we
in a
have
while.
an official JJTM
JJTM
camp.
camp.
Good, nice.
It's in the
Goals.
Masai Mara.
Hashtag goals.
We are very good friends with the Masai warriors and the Masai tribesmen. And
Be nice to those dudes. They're pretty cool.
Why aren't
We're
those
cool.
pictures
Don't wanna be on
the
their bad
walls? Where are
side.
those pictures?
We can't put
Oh.
those up.
I have a lot of them on my computer. They're great guys. But the warthogs, like when we got there and we went into camp, I was like, we're walking by the main cantina area where everybody hangs out, the restaurant cantina area with tables and stuff, and there's these 3 warthogs running around. and they just come right up to you and start rubbing up against you, and I'm like, oh,
Oh my
Is this
God.
okay?
Did they still have
this
their
normal?
tusks and all that? Oh my
It's like,
God.
did someone?
about
Did
to-
I miss the email about the hogs?
Is he about
Are
to
we
eat
cool?
mine?
We're all
Yeah.
good, right? All right,
Am I
cool.
gonna get eaten?
But they just smelled all of us and then ran off. And I was like,
Jesus.
okay. And then later, either that day or later, the next day, we're sitting outside eating at this giant table, and I start feeling this thing rubbing me.
Is your buddy again?
It's
And
Linda.
I look over at my neighbor
Oh,
next to
Linda.
me, and he's just
Maybe
chowing
Shelby.
down, so I know it's not him. Look at my friend Shelby. I know it's
Wouldn't
not
Shelby?
her. And I look on the table, it's one of the warthogs just rubbing my leg.
Hey
and
man,
just,
give me something to eat.
Getting way too
And I reach
fresh.
down, scratch its head and everything,
Oh,
and it
dude,
it
that's
walks off.
wild.
So you can domesticate
Huh.
and a warthog really easily, and I would love to have. You know how cool it'd be to be walking down the
Yeah.
street with
You
a warthog on
you
the
have
leash.
to name it Pumbaa, right? I mean,
Yeah.
you don't. There's no other name for it.
So-
But what I didn't know is javelina are the same way if you do it when they're young.
Huh.
Really?
Yeah, they're tame as can be. It's when they're wild and out running around going crazy that they rip
I mean,
everybody's
it
leg
makes
off.
sense because all these people have these pet pigs that they keep.
yeah, and it's the
so
same
it makes
animal.
sense. Okay, so question then, for both of y'all. The whole world included in this. Dustin, if you could have one domesticated wild animal, well, I guess it's not wild anymore, but one domesticated animal of any species or breed that's still in, like, not extinct,
That wouldn't eat my.
that wouldn't, no,
That wouldn't
there's
eat
no
me?
chance that they're going to turn on you.
Okay.
What animal would it be?
A white Siberian tiger.
Ooh, that'd be pretty nice.
Done. There's no question. There's
That's
no nothing.
very
A white
nice.
Siberian tiger.
What about you, man?
Hippo.
Ooh, that'd be pretty cool too.
Because you said it won't turn on me, but you didn't
Right.
say about my neighbors.
Oh, there you go.
I'm gonna have a defensive hippo, a home defense hippo, if you will. I'm gonna cover it in chainmail.
man, when that thing gets excited, it's gonna screw up your house.
You said it wouldn't like be a problem for me.
No, I mean, it just if you rub its belly too much, he's gonna be like, "Blah." You know, a dog gets excited and. Blah.
Let me make my own rules for my hippo, okay?
What are you gonna name your hippo?
I was
Hungry?
trying
Hungry,
to.
hungry
You
hippo?
know what? That's pretty good.
I
See,
think
God damn! Can you imagine the grocery bill?
just to freak everyone out.
That's the other thing that as we're cruising around Africa on our safari, we hear this rustling and everything, coming through the brush. And my driver's like, oh, this could be one of the lions. This could be one of the lions. And it's
There's
getting
a
louder
rhino?
and louder. And he's like, well, maybe it's one of the rhinos. Maybe. And we're sitting here, and out comes this hippo. And it stops, and it looks at us like it's just as shocked as seeing it. And that's the only time our driver went, yeah, we're out of here.
Yeah,
Because they
no, you don't. Play
they
with
bite your
hippos.
face off, don't they?
They will charge the Land Cruiser and just
Yeah.
flip it over like it's
Oh,
no
I've
big
seen
deal, and
rhino
eat the-
videos of that. That doesn't look like fun. That's like
Hippos
when
are bigger.
Yeah, they don't. Oh, I
That-
know, but and a hippo will actually. Isn't it the hippo that was biting people's faces off
They
a while
are-
back?
They're extremely aggressive.
Yeah, because everybody thinks they're cute.
You know what else is really
they
aggressive?
are.
That's actually around here, or well, a few hundred miles away, is moose.
Oh yeah.
Moose are crazy aggressive.
Well,
Moose
how-
are sons of bitches.
You gotta,
Yeah.
gotta go a ways to get a moose, though, right? I mean, that's north.
Well, I mean, 300, 400, 500 miles, maybe something.
You're talking Kansas?
There's moose in Colorado, right?
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure there is.
I thought the closest you could get to them was like Ohio or something like that.
Ohio has
yeah.
moose?
That's a dangerous ass animal.
Yeah.
And they're
They
huge.
don't got-
They're huge. You can't tell how huge they are. because-
Bullwinkle was a moose, right? He was cool.
He was a pothead.
Yeah, I don't
though.
think that
Yeah,
works.
true.
I
He
don't
was
think that counts.
definitely a pothead.
So if you train your domesticated moose to be a pothead, he'd be calmed down.
Is that your
He'd calm
animal?
down,
Is
man.
it the moose?
No, it's not mine. I think my animal. I go back. I love the tiger idea. I love tigers.
Right.
So, but also I think a big ass fucking lion would be cool too. Just people come in and you got a big lion, or we just talked about it. A big fat alligator or a crocodile. That'd freak people out if they come into your house and. Oh, he's cool. Don't worry about him.
I promise.
He's
I
all
fed
good.
him an
Yeah,
hour
he's
ago.
good.
He's all right.
He's all good.
He
Don't
just
worry about him.
that's his way of saying hi.
No, go pet his tongue.
Yeah.
Sorry, no, don't do that. It's a joke. Don't do that. Please don't do that.
Please don't bit his tongue.
I
Imagine
just-
the pizza guy come to our party. We got a hippo, a crocodile, a lion, and a Siberian tiger.
Everybody that walks in just assumes we're
Oh, damn
pumping
it.
some kind of
Drugs?
Yeah, through the vent system. Yeah.
Well,
Well, maybe we are.
it's funny that you mentioned that because I have a great idea that has been brought up in the think tank of the temple.
I was
Not about the kids
Yes,
again.
no, the meth zoo,
Oh,
the
yeah.
meth zoo. How many
Oh.
times? Okay, check this out, man.
Where is this goddamn picture?
How many times have you gone to the zoo and it's in Texas? It's just too hot. It's too
There
damn
it is.
hot, and
So
and
hot.
all the animals are just kind of like this. Like, brr. Give them meth.
Right.
Give the animals meth.
That's a warthog,
Let
and
me
that's
see
a
the warthog.
warthog drinking from the swimming pool.
Sure, friends.
Drinking humans' blood.
I
Yes.
don't know. There's the warthog drinking from a swimming pool.
Looks
Was that at the
cool.
resort?
That was at our camp.
Oh,
yeah.
really? The JJTM?
At the JJTM camp for kids that can't read that well, or whatever. The kids that can't podcast that well.
Look at that cute little
We
warthog.
take kids there. They were called ham and bacon, and
Nice.
yeah, just ran around. There was ham, bacon, and sausage. I think it was. There was a fourth one, but 2 weeks before we got there, they were all sitting around for lunch. Everybody would come in because that's how safaris work. You get up in the morning, you go out safari, you come back for lunch,
Huh.
you rest, then you go out for the evening safari.
Oh,
So
mosquitoes.
no mosquitoes.
Oh, okay.
No.
Big spiders,
I-
huge spiders.
I even was taking malaria medication that supposedly you can't take now because of COVID or some shit. I don't know. Ivermectin is what I was taking because that's malaria medication.
Oh, I thought it was hydroxychloroquine.
Oh, yeah, no, that's what it was. Hydroxychloroquine.
Was that was the one that you said will fucked you up when you
Yeah, it screwed you up,
but
but-
you're good.
I was invincible.
Yeah,
I could stop bullets with my
you
chest.
could butt scoot and not get monkeypox.
Yeah,
Your guys' medical knowledge is far beyond
I just
mine.
bent over and let a monkey touch my butt and never got monkeypox. So-
Herd immunity right
Herd
there,
immunity.
folks.
So, so this safari, there were 4 of them, and one of them, they came in for lunch one day, and they heard all this screaming and rustling in the brushes around the camp, and all the warthogs shot off, and this one was trailing behind, and this lioness jumped out and grabbed it.
You saw this?
No, I didn't see it.
Wow.
This was
Oh,
2 weeks.
shit.
Grabbed it and ripped into it, and then realized it was right next to the table where a ton of people are eating. Like, she looked up and was shocked and freaked out, and she grabbed it in her mouth
Took off.
and just took off. And ran
Dinner
off.
to go, baby.
And then supposedly later on, she like went off and ate it somewhere, and then came back and went to the swimming pool, drank, cleaned herself up, and then took off.
That's a strong flex. All right, I'm back. I murdered
like
the
that
shit
she
out of
went
that
and
thing.
cleaned
Now
up.
I'm going to bathe in your fucking
Yeah.
pool here.
Yeah, she went and took a whore bath.
One night we had lions in camp, and it was really weird because they were around. You could hear them everywhere.
God, man.
And I was up.
What is camp anyway? Are these just like $10 Walmart tents or what's happening?
Oh no, these are giant yurts that are fully set up, king size beds.
and there are
They're-
people with guns?
Yeah.
They're beautiful. They're huge. The Maasai warriors, when lions come in camp, they holler at the warriors to the tribe that's sitting outside. They bring warriors in to protect the camp.
Are these guys carrying AKs or spears?
So here's the deal.
A little bit of both, probably.
One night I'm up at the bar and I'm drinking. It's pretty late. I'm drinking with some of the other guys. I'm ready to go back to the room. And the girl
Texas
I'd gone with,
Billiards of Africa.
she had already gone to the room. Yes, it was called Kenya Billiards. Or not. So I'm walking back, or I go to walk back, and this guy, he goes, I'll escort you back, and we're talking, and he's carrying a gun, and I'm talking to him, and it's a FAL 308, and
Solid choice.
I'm like, okay, that's pretty badass. And he goes, yeah, but I'm not the guy you want to be with. And I was like, what are you talking about? He goes, the other guys back there with the bows and arrows, they've actually killed a lion and they know what the fuck to do. Those are the guys you should be walking with,
Those are
not
the
me with the
pros.
gun. Because I have to carry a gun because
'Cause I don't
I
know how to
didn't
do
go
that.
through
Yeah.
my what do you call it? His manhood, his growing up
Yeah.
trials.
Sweet 16.
And I
His
was
man
like,
called
holy
horse.
shit. And so we walked back and we were laughing and cutting up and talking. And I was like, how close are we to him right now? And he's like, you're all right. We're probably only about 100 yards from them, but they won't come over here and bother
You're
you."
like 100 yards. What the hell?
And every night they put you to bed, they tell you,
Don't sleep with your feet out.
If
They-
you're
they
screaming,
zip-
just stay put.
they double zip your tent Like that's going to help anything.
Right.
I don't understand
Yeah.
that. And then they tell you, that you put a horn above your head and a flare. And I was like, okay, whatever.
Bro, that's too much. I don't know. I mean, if it's the
It
kind of
was awesome.
situation where you need a horn and flares and
Yeah, I'm in. I'd
The
love
next
to go.
morning,
I would
the
love to
next
go.
morning, I didn't even think about it. Next morning, I just got up and started trotting down the trail.
Now this wasn't a. This was a. This
Totally
was a.
forgot they
This
were
was
in
a
camp.
Such an
photography
American.
safari, right? There was no killing, right, at this one.
Yeah, this was all peaceful because it was for
Yeah.
the couple we went over there for their.
The-
It was the beginning of their
Yeah, I'm in.
honeymoon.
I'd love to do that.
I'm a meat eater.
I don't really want
but I
to
don't
kill
think
any
I'd
of
wanna
them.
Kill.
No, I would never want to. I wouldn't want to kill an animal out in the jungle like that.
Yeah.
But
also,
definitely want. But they have to be taken care of, though. They got to be
Right.
contained.
Overpopulation.
But I don't
issue,
think
stuff,
I'd have that in me to do that. I'd rather do the photography thing.
that's the thing
100%.
I've talked
like-
about on this show 100 times that a lot of people don't get. Is
But it
that
has- it's a necessary-
these
it's
hunts, when
necessary.
you actually go out there to hunt the big game, like the
Mhm.
big five,
Yeah.
it's not like you're just cruising around looking for one to shoot. You have to pull a tag. You have to pay a fuck ton of money for it.
Mhm.
And that tag, all that money goes back into
Wildlife preserves.
the wildlife preserve or that local area.
Yeah.
And when this was the whole thing, like the Jimmy Johns dude that went out there and shot a lion or whatever, his daughter shot a lion and they both posed with it, whatever the fuck.
Crushed his career. Yeah.
Yeah, crushed Jimmy Johns. I mean, they're doing horrible. But anyway, this lion he went after was a certain elder lion. That lions, once they reach a certain age, they kill their own pride.
They just don't give a fuck.
They kill
anymore. Yeah.
their entire pride that's been with them. The young men that are growing up, the lionesses, the women, kill them all because they're old. They don't want their legacy. It's
Yeah.
I
just
don't
one
want
of those
competition
things.
and
They-
stuff.
Let's
They go
explore
through
that
the-
whole psychology.
And it's not like they kill them to, eat them. They just kill them and leave them.
to protect
It's
the rest of the
entirely
pride, yeah.
brutal. So once they realize that these lions are getting old and they're going to turn,
Let's get Granddad before he goes completely senile.
either someone out there is going to kill them, or you sell off this tag to some millionaire who's going to pay a fuck ton of money at this Dallas Safari Club, because that's where he bought it, the Dallas Safari Club meet that they have every year. You buy the tag there, all his money goes back into, you hope. That's the big thing. You
Yeah.
hope.
Yeah, there's a lot.
It goes back into,
Yeah.
preservation or whatever.
Right.
And then he goes out there, he hunts it, poses with it, and then keeps the head. The other thing you don't see in this picture is all the tribesmen of
Taking
the
meat
area
and everything and that
standing
stuff.
behind him that take everything else
Yeah.
and use it in their camp. All the meat, all the skin, all the fur, everything.
There's an ecosystem to it.
It's a whole ecosystem.
Yeah.
So this whole idea that people get in their head of, these guys are just going over there and shooting
Murder.
people.
Yeah,
They're
it's
not
the
poachers.
case.
That's
Yeah.
not the case.
Yeah,
There
they're not
are
poachers.
poachers.
Yeah.
There are
Yeah.
Chinese send poachers over there all the time, for the rhinos, to mow through the rhinos and take their horns to make fucking Cialis or whatever.
Nice.
They go through there and they're just killing all
Is
these
that what
rhinos.
Cialis is made from?
Sorry, bro. Yep. That's what's in you.
The little blue pill has quite a bit in it.
Of
Rhino horn.
rhino horn? I didn't know
Are you
that.
serious?
I didn't know that.
So they go through there and they're just slaughtering these animals and ripping their horns off and taking them and
Right.
just leaving the animals to rot. And they don't get a chance to reproduce. You start, endangering them and then making them go extinct. And that's bullshit. Doing that is 100% bullshit. But doing this whole conservative shooting thing, or thinning out the herds like you do deer here.
Yeah.
Like whitetail get too high, like you said, it becomes open season
Mhm.
in certain counties because they get too thick and they're either going to disease each other, or they're just going to run out of food and water, or ticks become a problem. You start
It's
having
funny.
Lyme disease shoot through the roof.
You know what's funny about some of the animal rights activists and stuff is they're more concerned about that, but there's a ton of poaching in Texas, and like here, there's a ton
Really?
of poaching.
Yeah.
I've been on deer leases before, and the owner of the land came and got us all and said, "Hey, we got to run these guys off because they're drunk over on the next lot spotlighting. Spotlighting's illegal. You can't do that."
Nope.
Huh.
And we'd have to load up and chase them off. And that's the thing. It's funny is these animal rights people get freaked out. They don't usually, for one, they don't listen to what Dustin just said. They're just more about yelling and hollering as loud as they can and throwing blood at people.
Is posing with
And if
the
you-
animal you killed? I mean, every hunter
It's a little
does it.
gross, right?
Every hunter does it though.
Yeah.
And every
Yeah,
hunter
I
I,
would do
work
it.
with, when I was a kid, you killed my first deer. I posed with it. It's what you do.
A buddy of mine shot a 400-pound hog. I posed next to it like I shot it. I did not shoot it. I wish I had of.
It's funny though. You don't have what I'm saying though is it's funny. All these people taking these big stands and stuff at places they can't ever get to. If you really want to take a stance about poaching and people killing wildlife, you can go down to Junction, Texas, and go run out in the field and start. Good luck getting after the poachers and the people that are killing down there, or just a regular hunter. See how? I mean, good luck. Like I said, but it's funny. It's hunting has this stigma that's been put on it in the last like 20 years, and most of it is stuff that people don't understand.
Well, you just lost your woke attorney card right there.
I damn sure
It's
did, Bob.
because you support guns
I damn sure did,
and
Bob.
bows
didn't
and
I?
arrows.
I don't support guns. I support shooting them.
Yeah, yeah.
You support hunting.
Guns.
I do support hunting.
And what a lot of these people don't understand also is you're
That's
getting
what you're
meat
gonna have to
straight
do pretty
from the
soon.
source.
Right.
It's the best.
It's the best,
best.
meat you can get. Period.
None of the
it's
pro-
not
like
being
it's not
processed.
processed
it's not
with
being ran through
with
a bunch
of
BS.
hormones and stuff.
Yeah.
It's not being housed in some nasty
Yeah.
field where they're producing tons of population for
Yeah.
the surrounding community. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not one of these crazy ass chicken farms, you know.
It'd be beautiful.
I
if
do.
we
I
could
will
get
say
all
this
of our
though. I
meat
don't
from
like.
hunts.
Well, this goes in line with what we're saying. To me, if I go catch a catfish on a catfish farm, it tastes nasty to me. I don't know why, but it tastes nasty. I think it's like
I've
Taste
never fished a
artificial.
farm.
it's not very enjoyable. It's just kind of like neat.
It just seems there's one out by Eagle Mountain Lake
Is it really?
on 10 Mile Bridge. If you go up that way towards the other side of the dam,
Is it still there? Because there's one over there that's been closed for 8
did
years.
they close it? Okay,
I don't know if
I
we're
haven't
talking
been
about the
back
same
there in
one.
a
but
long
it's-
time.
Yeah.
but yeah,
It's
there
not
used
that
to be
cool.
one, a big old fish farm. You go in there and fish whatever you wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not really that cool.
I'd rather go out. Yeah,
Do the real deal.
yeah. So are you a camping man too?
Yeah, I've talked to several groups of friends trying to see who wants to go more badder. But
I will go anytime.
I've got the camping bug real bad,
I do
and
too.
I've got a 8-person tent with a screened-in
Just check the weather on
porch.
Friday night.
I'm telling you, this thing is massive.
He's not going to be able to go Friday night. He's got to prepare for
No,
Saturday.
yeah, that's right.
No, I can't this weekend. But
Me and you can, and we'll go eat those mushrooms.
now listen, this is the place I've been pitching real hard.
Can we go?
What?
What if we go camp? Let's go camp at Pouring Glory.
We could do that.
We'll probably attract a lot of homeless people.
Yeah, I'm not interested, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, I
But
don't
there's a
want anything to
place
do with that either.
down towards Austin in Dripping Springs, if y'all are familiar with that.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
called 13 Acre. And me and a buddy actually did a couple of podcast episodes out there.
Really?
Put the tent out, and they've got this outdoor shower. You can scrub your balls and look at the birds flying over your head.
Hell yeah! I love outdoor
It's-
showers.
Yeah, it's great. But it's just the chillest, most relaxed, and it's overlooking this big 13-acre valley. And it's the first time, I don't know how I got to, like, at the time I was like 35, and it's the first time I ever saw a shooting star, and it fell right
You
in.
saw your first shooting star at the age of 35?
Yeah.
What are you, satanic?
I don't know what happened, man. I just missed out.
I don't think Satanism has anything to do with that.
It
man.
could,
That's a
though. I mean,
real-
let's not discount that. Stubbs has a good point.
Yeah. Okay.
But anyway, it fell right into the valley. I mean, this big
Oh,
ball
yeah.
of
That's awesome.
fire.
Did y'all go get it?
We were thinking about it, but there were other extenuating circumstances.
What time's your deal?
that
Mushrooms.
kept us from getting there?
What time is your event? You said 1 o'clock?
Yep,
Yeah.
1 o'clock Saturday.
All right,
Don't
Dustin,
miss
we
it, folks.
got
Pouring
good
Glory.
weather.
Yeah,
good
I know.
weather,
I've had
Dustin.
an eye on that.
We could go out to Mustang Island out here at.
We got
Where's Mustang Island?
Or is it Mustang Island? Whatever Mustang.
we got 70,
Park, whatever.
70 as a low and 90 as a
Benbrook.
high.
Go to Benbrook and just
Benbrook.
chill.
Get up and come strolling into your event, all nasty smelling like man
Dirty.
love and stuff.
Campfire
We'll
and
smell like a campfire. You'll
lube
know
and
where
dirt.
we've been. Yep.
Get old Lord to go with us.
Yeah.
The Lord.
Or
Shout out
we do the
Jeffrey.
opposite. Your shit's over at 6
Go afterwards, after party.
after party.
Hey, you got a somebody here says lots of moose
Yeah,
in Colorado.
I
I'm
was gonna
acting
bring
like
that
I
up.
don't know who that is. Hey,
I
Steph.
knew there was a lot of moose in Colorado.
There is a lot of moose in Colorado, and then elk. Also,
A lot of moose
which
knuckles too.
Hey,
Hey,
shout out.
Pagosa Springs used to have elk all around
I
it.
thought you were gonna say Pagosa Springs used to have a lot of moose knuckles.
No, I've never seen a moose in Colorado.
So elk and moose.
You ever seen a moose knuckle in Colorado?
I have a few times.
I haven't, but I'm sure they're there.
It's amazing what thermals will do to you after a day of skiing. I think it was on myself.
You created your own
Created my own. All right, so we keep
swamp
talking
knuckles.
about
Swamp
this-
knuckles. You got swamp
You
knuckles.
got some of that Louisiana swamp knuckle going on, lady.
So
Respect.
we keep talking about this Saturday that we can't go camping this weekend because of Saturday.
You fucked up
and
our whole
Saturday thing.
camping schedule.
Saturday's an insane day
It is.
here locally.
Yeah.
But at 1 o'clock, you're going to celebrate your 100th episode at Pouring Glory.
Yeah, I'm trying to make it more of a us thing. I'm trying not to put any kind of special spotlight on Fort Worth. I mean, or Fort Worth roots. Excuse
Yeah,
me.
because you hate Fort Worth.
Yeah, I
You
know.
Fuck Fort Worth.
Who was it that was sitting here with us last time? Was talking about the fame going to their head and they're going to move out.
Jeffrey
Probably
Lord.
him.
I think we were talking about Javier. Anyway,
Probably.
Um,
He couldn't show up.
but
'cause
yeah,
he
we
was-
just want to have the entire community out, and I've tried to involve as many people as possible. We've got your illustrious podcast and 10 others that are going to show up. Hopefully, pass out
Plan
stickers,
on it.
talk podcast. We got
Yeah.
3 great bands. We got Late to the Station, Itchy Richie, and the Burning Sensations.
Are
The
you doing it
Gray.
live?
We're gonna do a podcast, but I don't think we're gonna do it live. Just the internet
Gotcha.
connection there is not good, so we're not gonna do it live. But there'll be a recording. If you guys want to show up early, we're gonna be out
we'll
there
probably-
about 11 o'clock.
We'll probably do a hostile takeover.
Nice.
11 o'clock?
Is that well? You don't get up before 1, right?
What's the earliest podcast we've
I don't
done
know.
besides when we stayed up all night? It sure isn't.
I don't know if qualifying will be done.
Yeah, qualifying will be close.
It'll have to be one of the camping trips because we got up early after camping
Oh, yeah.
and started podcasting.
And we did it in the middle of the day for like 2
Yeah.
hours, which
And the one that when we were camping,
when I was talking absurdities,
when you were yelling at the lake because it made you angry.
that was at night though, wasn't it?
No, but that
Was it-
next morning we
that's
got
when
up
we
and
potted,
started
yeah.
potting around the
What did the
campfire.
That
lake
was-
do to you?
That's where we could go this weekend, but we got to go to this
grasslands.
thing at 1 o'clock on Saturday.
We can go afterwards.
Like, well, I got to be back on Sunday
I need you guys to commit to a really good location though.
because
PK.
dun 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 dun.
PK State Park's pretty legit.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
PK's awesome.
So, how many state parks have you hit in Texas?
As a kid, man, we did that pretty regularly. I want to say I've probably seen 8 to 12 somewhere in that neighborhood.
So I've made it a mission to see them all.
There's too many. You can't do that.
Yeah, no, there's not. There's 92.
Somebody from the tribe is gonna have to take you out before you kill the rest of the village.
Why? I'm-
Before you
I'm like
manage
at 48.
to. Yeah, but you'd be a real old man by the time you saw all the state parks in Texas, right?
No,
There's
because
like
I've gone on
1,000.
trips where I've done. There's 92. I'm halfway there.
92,000.
So I have. Are you stoned?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
No, you go out and you can knock out like 3 or 4. I'm not camping at them all. I just roll through them, check them out, hang out for a little bit.
You're the guy that's
fish
messing
stuff.
up the
I
public
mean, even in camping,
bathrooms,
even
aren't you?
camping and
But
all
there's a
wouldn't
lot
be
where
that
I
hard
camp.
of a
It's-
task.
It's
Yeah,
the
camping.
If
transients.
you retired, you do
The
like
one that's going to be
30
the
a
hardest,
year.
I think, is Matagorda Island
Where's that?
down Galveston
It's-
area.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Or South Padre,
That's
somewhere
awesome.
down there.
You can
We-
camp there?
Yeah, you got to be boated out and you're left. You're
Damn.
just left alone. You
okay
got to
with that.
take everything with you, and then they drop you off, and you're like, "Meh, we'll see you tomorrow."
Yeah. I like that.
That one's gonna be the hardest because I like having my truck with the tent on top and
Mhm.
hanging out and doing stuff. So
What's that called? What was that place
Madagar?
called?
Matagorda Island,
Matagorda?
Matagorda. There's a couple down around Houston I want to go hit, but pretty much everything up here I've hit.
Yeah.
Matagorda.
PK's
That
really
was.
nice. 'cause
PK's awesome.
The
I've
spot
never
that
made a
the-
penalty kick, but they look cool.
the spot that the campground, it kind of curves around, and you got to park like it feels like an absurd distance from the campsite that we were at. I actually came back from that trip with a cactus all up and down my ass.
Well, that's a weird story.
Well, we
I
were
need to hear
drinking-
about right now.
We were drinking moonshine,
Oh,
and I don't know why I do this, but I always take the motorcycle and I'll put like the hammock across the handlebars. I got my saddlebags and a backpack, and so I'm very minimalist.
okay.
So
I like
I'm
this.
going back to my bike to get something out of one of the saddlebags, and I'm just blitzed on moonshine. And I decide I need to sit down for a minute. I sit down right on a cactus.
On a cactus.
I spent the next 3 weeks pulling cactus out
Better
of my
than laying
ass.
the bike down.
Oh, I wasn't going anywhere on that bike. I'm not sure I would have remembered how
But
to
I mean,
start
just
it.
leaning up against it and then going, "Oh, I'm on the wrong side." Is that your preferred camping method? A hammock?
I like to, go minimal.
There's nothing better than sleeping in a hammock.
Well, dude, I don't know. I'm past the age where that works because I woke up last trip that I did
Looks
that
like
on.
a lot of mosquitoes.
Went up to
At
Mineral
Matagorda.
Wells State Park, and I tried the hammock thing, and I woke up about 4 hours after laying down in that hammock, and my back was destroyed.
So I screwed up the first night. We did so I have to show you these here in a minute. I think I still have them out here. So we had this whole idea. We were going to do it twice a year. It was
Okay.
going to be a podcast camp out.
JJT, yeah.
And it wasn't just us. It was everybody. It was called the Funky Town Pod Camp Massacre.
Let's bring that back.
I have patches made, like good embroidered patches
Yeah.
that you earned when you went on this trip. Well, the first one and only one we did was at Mineral Wells State Park.
Nice.
And we did it for the entire weekend. And the first night I screwed up because I made my hammock too bent.
Mm-hmm.
And so I woke up and I had to go sleep in my truck.
That's what I did to myself.
Second night, I pulled it tight, slept like a baby,
Nice.
just in the womb.
That's probably where I went wrong.
In the womb. It was good.
Because I remember when I set it up, I was like 3 feet off the ground, and when I got in it, my ass was like half an inch off the ground. So.
Yeah, so I had like 60 of these made.
Oh shit.
So
That's nice.
those were
It's
our
Fishy Town.
Fishy Town. That's what it was.
Podcast
Fishy Town
Massacre.
Pod Camp Massacre.
Man, that's legit. Who made these?
I did, and
Nice.
well, I didn't. I sent them off to get made, but I designed it. But
That's fresh. 2018. Let's
yeah.
bring it back, dude.
I would love to bring it back.
I'm down. I don't know if you've caught on, but I've been trying to do more stuff with our local podcast community, and that would be incredible.
Yeah, I'll bring them back, man. I was gonna make one for every year, and this was the first year, and we had a pretty good turnout. It was fun. We fished. Jeff brought his boat out and fished. We had
Lord?
yeah, we had this badass peninsula right as on the lake, Lake Mineral Wells,
Mm-hmm.
and it was just this perfect spot. We all just camped around it, and a bunch of guys from different bands came out, and
That's
we
so cool.
spent the night and had some fun, and it was great. I would love to bring it back. It's time to bring it back.
I bet it is. It's absolutely time, and you got an advocate right here for it. I wonder if there's like a pavilion we could rent or something and bring out some musicians like for a certain time of the day and do like a little jam sesh.
Probably so.
That would be sick.
We had guitars and stuff
Do
sitting
you
around
know
too.
some
so we just played
musicians?
around. A couple.
Yeah. that
Yeah,
might work
one
out.
or two. Again, since I've started this little tour, I've gone back and to some state parks that I hadn't been to since I was a kid, and Mineral Wells being one of them. But the
That is a really nice park.
one that's a gym that they've redone and made really, really nice is Cedar Hill.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
Cedar
Hill's
Hill's
always been
great.
nice.
But it used to be kind of, and you always felt like I'm just right here between Dallas
Right
Fort
down
Worth.
the road.
But they've built some different campgrounds in there
I
and
think I've been to,
redone
like,
them
was
to
it
where you're
Mount
down
Lebanon?
in there, and you don't feel like you're in the city anymore.
Nice.
At
That's
all.
the way Mount Lebanon is. Isn't that down there in Cedar Hill?
I don't know.
Yeah,
Is
it's
this
not.
like a Bible church camp thing?
I don't think so. Might have been. But anyway, Cedar. That place has always been pretty rad.
Do you guys smell
like
something
a-
burning?
It's probably my soul.
Let me go check on
That
that.
that Matagorda Island.
On what? Oh,
That Matagorda Island's not primitive though. It looks badass, but it's not really primitive.
like what do you mean?
Like they got structures and stuff on that thing now.
Oh, they do.
Yeah, it looks
'Cause
cool. That
the
tower, that lighthouse, looks awesome.
Lighthouse, badass.
And
They,
it's in. You're right. It's in between. It's in between Port Aransas and Galveston. It's like
Or
the San
Padre.
Antonio Bay. It's right outside of San Antonio Bay. But
I was reading a deal that a guy went out there,
Minnesota,
and he went out there to shoot the stars over the
that'd
ocean.
be cool.
And a storm ended up blowing in, and he was the only one with a good enough tent that was hardcore that he ended up housing like pretty much everybody on the island that had come there to stay that night came to him
Yeah.
for protection through the storm because he had a nice hardcore military style tent.
Can you not take
That
your
was
own
standard.
boat?
or do you have to go on the ferry?
I don't know. I don't know all the specifics of that joint.
I think we need to look into this. It looks like a pretty cool place, except the mosquitoes. It looks rough as far as mosquitoes go. But,
Yeah.
get some off.
Get some off. Spray yourself down. I got that stuff that's like 90% deep. You spray it on you,
Your
Nothing.
skin melts.
and even the women won't come near you for a week.
I like that, though. I like to know
Keeping
I
the
have
women
mosquito
away?
spray. Well, yeah, that, too. I like to know that I have mosquito spray on. I don't want this pansy woke
No.
garbage.
What is everything? What's woke with you today? Who touched you in the wrong space?
That's not very woke. Well, actually, that is woke now.
While we're waiting on Andrew to come back, what do you think of this Artemis launch being delayed again? And now they got to roll.
Something's up.
We're never going to the moon. I'm starting to think the moon was hoaxed.
I'm starting to think the money that they had for it went to Ukraine about 2 weeks ago. So they're like, well,
Probably.
we don't have enough money for the gas now.
So let's just roll it out there and we'll roll it back, and then
Yeah.
we'll say we're working on it, and everybody will forget about it.
Yeah, because how do they go from we're going to delay it for 3 days to we're going to delay it for several months now? If it was that bad of an issue, it seems like before they rolled it out, got ready, that they would know about it.
They should have seen that before on the first launch.
Maybe
So
some
let's
kind of
roll
diagnostic
it back.
test before you roll it out there to see if the fuel lines are okay, right?
Yeah, yeah. You think you just kind of like blow some air through them, make sure they're pressurized? I'm okay. Thank you, sir. But like make sure everything pressurizes right and everything's good, and then you just roll it back. I
Yeah.
don't
Is
know.
it? Does it have to do with the position of the Earth, maybe, or something? Or
I don't know.
I'm the scientist.
it doesn't
What's the
make any
question?
sense. Well, we were going to just delay it for a few days. Well, that didn't work, so we're going to delay it for 5 months.
Yeah, we're talking about Artemis,
Yeah, Artemis.
and now we don't think that we've
Space
ever
geek
gone
stuff.
to the moon
Oh,
because they're just delaying this.
I think
Man,
there's-
watch, that's going to be out there.
I think
Oh,
there's some
there
pretty
is.
So they're already
solid-
saying that.
There's a lot of people that have said. There's people that were all in like, yeah, we did the moon, that are now like starting to think we didn't
But
go.
did we?
But did we?
So you were telling me to watch out for something in of mankind.
For all mankind.
For all mankind. Yes.
Yeah.
Excuse me. When does it happen soon? Because
Where-
I'm still early in it and I haven't seen anything that just completely shocks me. I'm gonna know when I see it.
Oh,
like
yeah,
this
yeah.
is it.
Yeah, there will be a couple of those where you're just like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Is this
Yeah.
a show or?
It is
Yeah,
a
it's
show.
on Apple Plus. It's basically
Mankind?
Pretty good.
for all mankind.
Pretty good, man.
It's on Apple Plus, so you have to be elitist.
Pretty
with
good.
Apple Plus service.
Which I am now.
Yeah, Matt is. And
I
what it is,
crossed over to the dark side.
basically, it's a recreation of history of where if the Soviets beat us to the moon
Okay.
and how things would have changed and how powerful the Soviet Union would have become and how it would have knocked us down.
Did you
and
watch
how we
Man in
would-
the
it
High
would-
Castle?
I'm watching it right now. I'm on season 1.
Kind of the same thing.
Yeah, and I'm loving it.
Man, the High Castle's crazy.
Loving it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really, really good.
Well, I mean, I've heard that argument, and then shows like Man in the High Castle, but was it really that important?
Oh yeah, back
Us
then.
winning that space race?
Yeah, because supposedly that's when all the like foreign aerospace companies came to the U.S. anyway
Oh, okay.
and started investing
So
in
we
our
grabbed up that
military.
industry based off of that shit there.
The military-industrial complex took off after the
The
moon landings and
the
everything.
argument that we faked that whole thing has got some pretty good legs under it.
There's some pretty good legs. If only you couldn't see the shit that was up there, though. That's the thing. Because you can.
Well, see, that's the
You can
thing.
see the
That's,
stuff
that's
that was
why.
left
That's
behind.
why
But can
when
you?
Artemis, when it does happen, it's going to be
I mean,
so
you can throw it
rad
in
when
there.
we actually put people up there. Because now we got Instagram astronauts are going to be gramming from the moon and stuff. It's going to be next level.
Now, class me up on Artemis because I haven't been following this one.
Artemis is the precursor to launch us to Mars. But we have to get ready and stationed at the moon first. This was
Okay.
supposed to happen several years ago, but we ran into COVID.
Okay.
Or
And so-
Obama.
Or that's
Or
actually
it
more
is
of it.
true.
That's
Obama
more of it.
killed
yeah,
the,
killed the
the
NASA.
entire space program.
Well, and I was
Yeah.
really mad about that, but did you know that was scheduled? so that we could afford. Well, okay, I understand there can be some opinions there. I'm not supporting or unsupporting that man, but I'm telling you that that was a scheduled maneuver so that we could afford more with the NASA budget for an upgraded program.
Okay, but this program,
Because I was really mad about it, and then
That's
I
how
found
he
out,
sold it.
this
well-
program
well,
has been talked
that's how
about and
NASA sold it.
designed since the space shuttle program.
Oh, that's
the
what NASA
Artemis
says.
design?
Artemis
Yeah.
has, yeah.
Oh.
Everything is already, all this has been laid out. It's not like they just dumped something and started making something else.
So
Yeah,
what about
well,
the
yeah.
COVID excuse? Is that horseshit? Was it more funding than anything?
Yeah, because you're launching unmanned shit.
Yeah.
You don't need to worry about
That's
COVID.
not-
you
yeah.
have to build it.
Well,
but
I think
a lot
it's
of the
the
stuff is
team being
automated.
together, is what it is.
You're NASA.
You can't.
You're isolated.
You can't zoom in and get a ship up.
You have an entire facility at Cape Canaveral that you can keep people away from other people.
Yeah, you could literally
Like,
shut
they've
off the
well,
island.
they've
Yeah.
actually done containment and like what do you call it, quarantine for
Well,
people
yeah.
that came back from space.
Every time they do a mission,
Yeah.
it's under quarantine. That
It's
they're
just
experts at
silly.
quarantine. Yeah.
So yeah,
I guess
they
that's right, man. I guess COVID is a horseshit excuse.
total horseshit.
in any
excuse.
in that industry, yes,
Yeah.
it does seem like it. Yeah.
But yeah, this is supposed to be, this rocket's bigger than the Saturn V's,
It's
and
yeah,
it's unmanned. The first few launches are going to be unmanned, but they're dropping stuff.
Okay.
yeah, getting
So
setting the groundwork.
they're re-practicing before they man it to launch from here, and it's this down here. It's a quicker slingshot too.
Okay.
It's not like when you compare the Apollo missions to what we're doing with this, it's a way quicker flight.
So we're talking a
Everything
because
third.
of
better.
the, like the power and stuff of the rockets that are
Yeah.
used.
Yeah, so they get you going. It's a way tighter slingshot to get you there. You get in orbit way quicker. It's still like 13 days, something like that round
Well,
trip.
they can probably put their foot on the gas a little heavier since it's unmanned, right?
yeah,
Less
probably
risk.
test some stuff.
Yeah.
But they're dropping stuff off because they want to build a
Little habitat.
habitat in orbit that then has
like a space station?
basically
Wow.
that's in orbit around the moon that can then have a module that can drop to the surface and come back.
On a tether?
It's not on a tether. It's just they want something to be able to go back and forth. So the Artemis capsule gets to the space station, docks.
Hmm.
They have a vehicle there that can shoot them down to the surface of the moon. On the moon, they're going to build another base
Fuel it up.
to fuel the future rocket.
Mm-hmm.
And then they can come back up and then take the Artemis capsule back to Earth.
Lofty goals. Since we've never
It's-
been there.
Insane. If they pull this shit off, it's insane. But watching, For All Mankind, technically, we should have been there in the 70s already doing this stuff.
Right.
By what they're saying.
It's like we got there, put our flag down, and lost complete interest.
Yeah.
So what do you think about the?
Except the Israelis, who have built bases on the backside of the moon that no one can see.
I thought it was Nazis.
With their giant.
That
Oh,
was
they're
the
there
other
too.
movie.
They're
That was
there
the other
too.
Well,
movie.
that's the other movie.
Yeah.
And then the whole thing's hollow anyway, so who cares? There's aliens
Yeah.
inside.
Oh.
Where were you?
So,
you were about to jump off on something.
Yeah, I never heard this theory about the disasters slowing the charge of NASA until this show.
No, that shuttle documentary showed all of it. The Challenger documentary
No,
showed how much it fucked them up.
Did you?
no. I'm talking about the space race. How we were charging hard and going hard, and then all of a sudden, when that they had the fire, wasn't there a fire on the platform, and then there
But
was
that was
one
midway through. That was like Apollo 11, right?
right, and
Apollo
then
10,
after
Apollo 11.
and then after that, they said they got cold feet because
But you
the,
still
the
had,
whole world was shocked.
you still had 12 and 13 that went up. Well, they also had the problem with 13
Yeah.
that never got to land.
Well, this is
But like 14 and 15
this was on the
landed.
show. I don't. That's what I'm saying. I never heard of that. I wonder if it's true that we started getting cold feet because of deaths
What's awesome
and the
is,
country being in shock.
have you put two and two together that everybody's names on the show are actual
Real- yeah.
astronauts? Okay, I was just making sure of that.
Have y'all heard the Challenger conspiracy?
Which
I
one?
just saw this.
You tread lightly
Yeah,
here.
we've heard a few.
Okay, so I'm not claiming that this is fact. This is just something I saw probably on
It
TikTok.
was shot down.
No, it was well, whatever happened, they were showing pictures of people that have the exact same names or very similar names. 30 years progressed that were on the Challenger. Like these people are still alive and working
On
inside of
different
our
missions and
society.
stuff?
No, like the people that were on. This is the conspiracy that the people on Challenger never died. That rocket went up or that ship went
That was
up,
really good.
exploded,
Really good.
and nobody was on that thing. And the reason they did it was for XYZ, but that the people are still alive, and they were showing like these.
Well, one could only hope. That's a good outcome.
It is, but it's also.
Well, what's the reasoning
know,
behind it?
That's the scary part. Like, why would you do that? And I can't remember.
Does it go back
For
to
money?
faking space stuff?
They had a whole rationale, timeline, and I don't remember, but it was just. I'm like, I'd never heard of any kind of conspiracy with Challenger. I just hadn't.
I'm trying to think why
That's
they would do
interesting.
that though.
I don't know. Stupid. People are bored just coming up with shit.
No, I'm saying if that was like, what would be behind that? Like, what would they be hiding?
We're in an
Something
age
or-
of complete distrust with our government, and I feel like that's fairly well and warranted. And so, we're analyzing different shit, and people.
Yeah, it's
pick
like we're
up
going back
projects
through the history book and seeing like, well, this might not have really happened.
Yeah.
Like, well, it kind of did. It was on film, and there was chunks of JFK's brains that was in his wife's hair.
Oh, that
Like,
dude died. I don't. There's
He
plenty
wasn't
of
on the space
conspiracy.
shuttle?
He might have been on Challenger. I don't know.
He went
He's
on-
he's not working at Costco in off of Matlock in Arlington.
He can't be Employee of the Month because they just can't put his picture up.
You can't tell me Columbia was fake because I saw that from my backyard.
Yeah.
That
Couldn't
fucked
take
me
his
up.
picture.
That day fucked me up.
Did you see? You saw it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
No
man.
Shit.
There was
Yeah.
a bunch of stuff that
It was
fell all
after-
out in East
Yeah, I
Texas.
know, I
Like
know,
there was
all
stuff
over.
falling all
We
over
heard the
place.
booms,
Damn.
and I got up, and my mom, I had two friends texting me all at once, and was like, "What the hell?"
Yeah.
And went out back and saw.
For
the
some reason, that
plumes.
one wasn't as shocking. I think as the Challenger, though. The Challenger was. I mean, it was shocking, but that Challenger, that was crazy.
Well, the thing that was
like-
shocking about Columbia was just that
Just a
it was
nice
routine.
Sunday morning.
Nice Sunday morning or Saturday morning, wasn't it?
I thought it was Sunday.
Was it Sunday? It was.
Might have been Saturday.
I still have pictures of the DOT sign saying, "If you find space shuttle debris,
Said,
call."
Don't
Leave it
touch
alone. Don't touch it.
Don't touch it. Yeah.
Now that was the day I went out to Mineral Wells with my buddies because we were doing a scouting video shoot. We got to walk through the Baker Hotel, and the whole time I'm like, "This is just fucking weird. What kind of day is this?" We're out here in the Baker Hotel. It's all haunted, and we're getting to go all through it. The space shuttle blew up this morning. That's all we kept saying was, "Fucking space shuttle blew up this morning and crashed." But I kind of wanted to go down to East Texas and
Go looking for it.
go looking for some
Take a
debris.
little metal detector out there and your flip flops and your sunscreen.
Well,
on your
wasn't
nose.
there? Like, didn't eBay have to shut that shit down because people were finding
were
stuff,
finding it.
What
like
year was
selling it
this?
on eBay?
96?
2000. No, this was
No,
this was like
this-
2000,
Last month?
1999, somewhere in there.
It was later.
It was
2000
2002, wasn't it?
2002, I think.
2002, 2004, somewhere in there.
Wow.
Let's check it out while I be
All
producer.
because of a fucking couple bit of tiles. That's all it was.
But what's going crazy, or what's driving me crazy now is the
2003.
accelerant in our technology with SpaceX. Like they're doing, the fact that they can reuse those rockets and land them on water from a moving
It was
boat.
a game changer.
It's unbelievable.
Have you
It's a
made a
game
trip
changer.
down there?
I want to go so bad.
Let's
Start-
go. Let's
start-
go camp
what
down
can you
there.
do?
Terlingua.
Yeah.
We'll go to Starbase, Texas.
I'm in.
We'll
And
hit up
then drive
Terlingua.
over
What
Or
can you?
Terlingua.
Is there? Can you take tours of SpaceX yet?
I don't know,
Like-
but that Boca Chicas or whatever it is, that's a strip club.
Yeah.
Boca. Oh no, that was Loca Chicas. Boca, whatever it
add
is,
some more
Mexican food
titties.
where
restaurant
SpaceX is, you
or a
can
strip club?
cruise right through there and camp on the beach, and they just roll the rocket right down the road in front of you.
That's cool.
It's huge.
And then we go from there to Terlingua. That's a haul. But
So
let's
yeah,
do
it is. It is. But we've been talking about Terlingua on my show for years.
It's
So-
changing. It's life changing.
I want to go so bad. And I was looking at property down there. I was gonna just arbitrarily buy up 20 acres because it was so cheap.
I know someone that's selling some down there that has a structure on it.
Well, after the September 10th event, I will be completely broke, so I'll have to wait. But nice,
I have been looking down there too. How
Really?
Great yeah,
dude. I'll be your neighbor for sure.
let's go.
We can share
Let's
a water
just
well.
all fucking buy a piece of property. And we all just
Compound
move
it
down
out,
there
man.
and make
Compound
a
it
compound.
out.
We start our own cult.
I'm digging a hole in the ground. That's where I'm gonna live.
It'd be freaking fantastic. All right, so we got sidetracked by space stuff, but there's a bunch of stuff I need to hit this show before we leave. But I want to talk more about your 100th episode.
Okay.
You've done 100 of these damn things.
Yep.
How do you feel?
Well, I think like anybody that sets out to do an endeavor like this, and any podcaster can relate, it seems like I've put in 1,000 episodes worth of work.
Oh, it always
You
does,
know?
yeah.
And honestly,
Unless you're Matt.
to look at as he's texting away on his phone.
Oh no, I'm trying to find out.
I'm
the date.
messing with you.
It's February 1st, 2003.
But
I'm trying to find
it's
out
a
what
lot
day,
of
if
work.
it was a Sunday
and you
or
get
Saturday.
that, you know. But I mean, I'm sure musicians feel the same way. The amount of work you put in versus the amount of reward.
And no one shows up or listens to your stuff.
But you just you genuinely you gotta really dig it, because if you're doing it for any reason other than the enjoyment, you're not going to be doing it long, because the reward is very, very slight
It's
compared
very-
to the amount of work.
The way you can equate it to bands is so parallel.
There's
It's so
some
great
similarities
because
yeah.
it's like you have your bands that take off, that strike lightning and take off. You have your podcasts that strike lightning, take off, and make a shit ton of money. Then you have a bunch of just local guys that are just playing the local scene, and that's kind of where you see a bunch of the podcast around here. It's just.
I was talking to Lord about this on the show that I think he released it yesterday. I was listening to it at like 11 o'clock last night. Funky Town Podcast. Great show. Check it out. It's a great show. It's a great show.
Meh.
But we were talking about the same thing. Like, there's got to be a way to accelerate the growth of the local podcast community. And I'm trying to brainstorm and work on that and come up with a formula that I can share with you guys and Lord and the Funky Panther guys and all the other badass North Texas podcasts to kind of get us to a point where it's more relevant, I guess.
It's weird because, like, when we started getting this going, there was a little, like, a podcast group, what do you want to call it?
Yeah, and those are gross, man. That's
they
not
don't
what I'm
work.
talking about.
No.
I'm not talking about a podcast network.
Yeah, the whole let's build a network. Let's do this. Let's
I'm
all
talking about
team
a
up, Let's do
community.
this. But yeah, it needs to be more of a community. It's like last week we spent half our show bitching about that podcast movement that came through Dallas last week.
Right.
And how gross it is and how all of it's just built out about money.
I'm not interested in that.
And they
yeah.
just want to take money from other podcasters to come there and take these classes, and it's all stupid bullshit that you don't need to take a class for.
That you just learn when you do it.
Yeah, just do it and have fun. So
Have fun learning it.
And that's what I really appreciate about the Fort Worth artistic community, because everybody's just trying to get out there and do their thing, and everybody is chasing the same goal of, I would like to do this full time, so I do need money.
Yeah.
But nobody's trying to turn it into, the podcast
Just
movement. I wouldn't have
that
brought up
thing.
their name, but yeah.
We have
we've
a
butted heads with
deep
them.
dark history with them,
We've even
and to where we have told them
we've
to
trolled them.
fuck off.
We've
a
trolled their
few
email.
times.
We've
Yeah.
trolled their Twitter. Everything.
I've had people reach out to me about joining these podcast networks, and I just politely decline because
Yeah.
I understand what they're doing. They've got a different direction than I do.
I'd rather be creative in other aspects
Sure.
of hanging out. It's better, like, first off, all these little let's make a network. Let's make a little local coalition. It never works because it falls apart within a couple of months. Like, it just doesn't work. We've been in like 2 or 3 of them. It doesn't work.
Well, and we even kind of did a little test bed with that scavenger hunt thing. We'll know for sure on Saturday how well that worked out, but I'm telling you, it did not work out. I don't think it did. I haven't heard any traffic on that.
The password is in.
Don't do it.
Our
Don't-
letter is in.
But you know what? It has been fun. Just listening to people read off the descriptions and just kind of playing the game between us. That's been fun. But I don't think we'll do that again.
There's some stuff. I've got.
But that was to your point. To
Yeah, I
your
knew
point
that was
that
coming.
stuff
Bless
like
you,
that
sir.
doesn't
Yes,
work.
thank you.
It just doesn't. There's
I've got something
too
in
many
mind
pieces.
that will work.
Okay.
And I know it will work, and I know it will work all around. And it may not. It'll work it may not be 100% gold right off the bat, but if we do it annually, it will be gold, and it will be something that people will be like, "Fuck, this is coming up. We got to do it."
So the consistency
Like, this is
matters,
it.
but also finding people that kind of have the same mindset.
And that's the thing is finding. I think now there's a group of us that have the same mindset that can all work towards this goal to make this happen, and it will work out well if it's done right. Now,
Just in time for the government to shut it down.
yeah, then the
let's
government will require us to have
Licenses.
licenses.
Yeah. Well, right now they're scrambling trying to figure out how they're going to tax the shit out of marijuana before they legalize it. So I think podcasting's definitely on the back
Oh,
burner.
podcasting will fall under FCC guidelines before too long.
I'm sure you're right.
Or
They'll
they'll
have
make
to
a
be.
new commission.
Some type of weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
New shit.
You're
law.
correct. It was Saturday.
Saturday.
Damn,
February.
you found it?
February
February
1st.
2003.
So, 100 episodes.
Me playing producer.
You have
over here.
had on crazy people.
All of them appreciate you saying that.
Well, when I say crazy, it's like,
It's I call it eclectic.
yeah. The one that, yeah, I mean, you've had on Betsy Price. Have you had on
Working on it. Maddie
are.
Parker.
Maddie?
Maddie Parker, I'm here on the Jerry Jonestown Massacre. Please
Don't
call
say
me.
that.
Yeah.
She
the
sees,
wrong thing. You
she
don't wanna
still
say
sees
that.
our little badge on the
Oh, no.
on the storm drain outside of her office every day. It's like, who are these guys? And you've had on Tim Love. You sat across the table from him and didn't slit his throat.
Well, that's so strange that you would say that. He's actually
dead
a
in
really
my
nice
studio.
No.
I would
He's a very chill dude, and I've got a lot of respect for the amount of work that he's put into the industry that he's created. But
the problem
I've
is when
heard
the
a
devil
lot of people talk some major shit on that dude.
when the devil sleeps with the other devil and
What?
creates a venue.
Which venue are we talking about? What devil slept with who? Where did Satan get involved?
Exactly.
Have you seen a shooting star?
Yeah, have
saw
you
one.
seen a sushi star yet? No, but the only problem I have with him is the Colonial that year was a big mess. I happened to be out there working it. It was
Oh, really?
chaos, complete chaos, and it just seems like he keeps throwing weird shit against the wall to see if it sticks, which is cool, but. An Italian restaurant in
Here's
the
what I know so far.
Stockyards.
I really want you to listen to this episode. I know you're going to anyway, but that dude went above and beyond to make sure that the people working under him were able to either continue to work to the capacity that he could still keep them employed, and he also
During COVID.
during COVID, and he also made sure
You
that
got money for it.
sure, but
He got
within
money from the government.
Yeah.
and inside the confines of what was going on in our community, he was trying to make sure that all the outdoor venues had somebody out there playing music. So a lot of people weren't able to keep things going, but if you talk to the musicians that were able to keep their lights on because of those venues, they're extremely
I
grateful.
know a lot of musicians didn't receive jack shit from him.
Well,
A
you're probably
lot.
right, but there are
A lot.
I've had
There's a
s-
few that are in the
Probably
suck off
more than
community.
probably more that haven't than did.
Yeah. There's a lot of people that were
But
struggling.
still, it's a good
with
effort.
it.
well, yeah, there were
We
a lot of
understand what you're saying.
Yeah,
He
no,
he
it's
couldn't-
awesome.
He
but,
couldn't put every musician in Fort Worth on one of his stages, but he did do
I mean,
everything
he could
could to
get
keep them
tax
open.
money from them if he could work it out.
And something we talk about in that episode that gets released next Monday is he sat down at a table with the president as part of a committee, and he got an extension on something called the PPP, which was given to the employers to distribute. Rather than everybody going to the unemployment office, they were able to get some kind of funding from their employer. So this thing was called a PPP, and I don't know what that stands for. But the government,
It's the PPP. That's the loan.
Yeah.
The loan that was given for it was what was
During the COVID, 'cause we went-
what's the acronym for though? It is.
I can't remember.
We used to say it on here all the time.
It was a loan or a grant.
the-
we
uh,
went through the entire list of who got what.
But
yeah, we
when-
looked
in Tarrant County.
We
and
did.
it was kind of amazing his numbers.
So it was
PPP.
initially it
I
was
forgot
meant
what
to
it was.
be like 6 or
I'm gonna do
16
producer
weeks.
real quick.
And then when they walked away from that meeting with the panel and the president and everything up in DC, they got that extended by like 5 times the initial trajectory or
And
whatever
where
the
did that money
termination
go?
date was.
Oh, we're gonna open a new restaurant. Oh,
The Paycheck Protection
there's a
Program.
new venue down in.
Yeah, that's what it was.
There's a new venue we're gonna team up with Live Nation. When I said the devil's sleeping with another devil,
I'll let
that's
you
what
guys.
I mean.
I'll let you guys cook the books. All I know is the guy's been making moves, and I'm glad.
And he's opened a new restaurant and a venue with Live Nation.
And I had him on my show. Cheers.
Yeah, there you go. Now, do you think he's a better chef or a businessman?
I've had his food.
I've had his food too.
I've
Backstrap's not bad.
I've eaten it.
Yeah, Lonesome Dove's
The
pretty
Lonesome
good.
Dove is my favorite, hands down. I take people there when they come in town.
I'm not going to
I try
complain. I will talk about the kitchen at Lonesome Dove.
Uh-oh. Did you work in there? You know somebody that did?
I would never eat. I'll never eat there again.
Oh my God.
I wasn't that. You know what? I'm not gonna lie. I wasn't that impressed with the Lonesome Dove.
The kitchen.
I think it's a tourist trap more than anything.
I've seen.
Did you eat the food?
Yeah, it was me. I'd rather have Riata.
True, Riata's great. I'd rather have buffalo Riata. It's fucking good. Oh my god. Yeah, we had to run fiber into a lot of the buildings down there through the stockyards.
So you saw all the critters.
I've seen strip club stock rooms and kitchens that were in cleaner and better condition than that place.
Javier
being
from
a 5-star.
Javier from the Funky Panther keeps talking about the steak dinner you can get at the local strip joints, and apparently it's pretty phenomenal.
What was it?
That one
Texas Cabaret that used to do the $5 steak lunch special.
How can that be edible?
And
A
you got
$5
fries.
steak?
You got fries with it.
Here's the deal.
Is that even there anymore? It's called something else now.
It's called something. It's called Roxy's. Bucks does
Bucks
too.
does.
I think that's the
You
one
know who has
Javi
the
was
greatest
talking about.
food strip club wise is the Lodge in Dallas.
The Lodge is awesome. Now
place-
here's the deal.
You got to go to Dallas though.
Here's the deal that no one thinks about. They're strip clubs, right? So they're automatically targeted.
Yeah.
Under more
Have to have
scrutiny.
be clean
Yeah.
as
They're
fuck.
under a ton of scrutiny.
Yeah.
So you know it's going to be on top of the greatest food ever. The Lodge used to have a Michelin star rated chef there. So
And you could tell
Damn.
when you ate there, you're like,
yeah.
what was that other place that had really
So
a really good
crazy.
buffet? It was like the $1 Million Men's Saloon or something like that.
Yeah,
So it was over there by
$1 Million Saloon.
Dave and Buster's.
Yeah, the $1 Million Saloon.
Same thing, man. It's like they would have their buffet, and you're like, man, this is freaking like 5-star food. He's right. The strip clubs are scrutinized. Well, I guess pre-COVID, who knows what's going on now. But in my job, that's what I do all day long. As I go into restaurants,
Yeah.
their walk-ins and stuff.
Right.
And it's funny. My dad used to tell me, because he sold food and I sell beer, but we go to the same place. He always told me when I was growing up, if you want to know if you're eating at a good clean restaurant, look at the bathroom, because good bathrooms means that they're taking care of their bathroom. They're definitely taking care of their kitchen.
I'll vouch for that.
And
yeah.
sure enough,
Yeah.
like every single place that all the places that I would not eat, verbatim, their bathrooms look like shit. It's weird.
You ever been in a Buffalo Wild Wings bathroom?
Yeah, it looks like shit.
What's crazy is that it's like a nationwide thing. Like it does not matter what
Yeah.
state you're in or what location you go to. All the Buffalo
You
Wild
know
Wings
what?
are
I have a-
just their bathrooms are
They're-
awful.
That might be the red herring then, because the one that I have is pretty nice. It might be management and stuff, but
Oh, it's
I've wondered
definitely
that
management.
about
Twin
the
Peaks were always pretty nice.
You know,
Twin Peaks.
love Twin Peaks. Food's
Twin Peaks
incredible.
food's good, man.
Susie does bring up a good point
What'd she say?
that Tim Love took the PPP loans from other small businesses that needed
it.
and we have a bunch of friends that did
Boom.
suffer that.
Susie, boom.
A lot of our friends that on the south side and on Magnolia felt that because he took them from them.
Yeah, there are a lot of angry people out there, and I've talked to a bunch of them since I did that.
He's a lightning
interview.
rod, and
Yeah.
I totally would sit down with him and talk to him about
Yeah.
things because I want to know what's like where he's at as far as you're a chef. Is that your priority now, or is being a businessman being your
Well,
priority?
he does talk about that in the episode
He
that he's
does.
no longer in the restaurant industry; he's in the entertainment industry. And
Well, yeah, because
that's
he bought
what
a
the
venue,
that's what the Tim Love thing has become. It's entertainment.
and that's
it's-
because the food failed.
the food's incredible. I don't know what you're talking about. It might. I don't know what you're seeing back in those kitchens, but whenever it gets on my plate, it is 100%. I love it.
Just
And he's not paying me, so
yeah,
I'm
there's
saying that out of the sincerity in my heart.
I I won't be eating there ever again.
Really?
Yeah, I won't. And it's
Because that's
it's
where our
so
camping
sad.
trip ends. Is at Lonesome Dove,
No,
eating some
he can come out and cook.
kangaroo sliders.
He can come out and cook outdoors on a nice grill and everything. That's
I'll
clean,
holler at
that-
him. He might take us up on it.
I'm not going in that kitchen ever, or having anything comes out of the kitchen. I used to love that place. And
Really?
No,
Yeah.
never again.
Damn,
Never again.
that's wild.
Never again. All right. So your 100th episode is he your 100th episode, or you say he is?
He's on the flyer.
Oh yeah, he is. Isn't
Yeah, he is.
he?
Yeah.
So the 100th episode, you're gonna drop that on Monday. What are you gonna do with the show this weekend that you record? Is that gonna be 101?
I'm gonna have to figure out where I want to put that in the lineup.
Fort
but
Worth Roots 101?
it's
Like
just-
you know, Depeche Mode did a 101. It was really great. Took off. It was huge.
I know there's a joke here, but I'm not getting it.
No, there's no joke.
Okay.
101's is a good number.
No joke. No joke.
No joke. I thought we were
guys. No
friends. We're
joke,
good.
guys.
I'm gonna do it like I did with
This is the real deal.
River Oaks Springfest Car Show or Psychedelic Panther, where I did these event coverages, and I'll just put it into the lineup where it makes sense. I try to break it up so that it's not musicians every fucking week, cause
Yeah. We had to do that. We had to start breaking it up.
yeah, because I love having musicians on.
We don't. We hate 'em
they're my
all.
people.
Fuck them all. We just have them all to fill time.
But I don't want to
Come here and
have.
talk about themselves.
I've seen this dude before.
I don't want to have a solid month of musicians. You know what I mean?
Tim Love.
Yeah, like no, I've seen him. I've seen him somewhere.
He is the biggest Fort Worth celebrity.
No,
I
I'm
think
like
we
I've seen
have.
him at I don't know where I've seen him, but I've seen him before.
He
Like, Hank-
pops in to everyone. He says at least one restaurant a day, but he says typically he's at 6 of his locations every single day.
Oh, I would never see him at one of his restaurants
Oh.
unless it's in.
You caught him at
Louisville.
Wally World.
Love Burger.
Yeah, Love. I wasn't there. Love. Is that his oldest one down there?
Woodshed's good. I love Woodshed.
Which is
I fucking
badass.
love the Woodshed.
That's the barbecue place.
Uh-huh.
That is very good.
On the river.
No, I've
Woodshed's
seen
great.
him maybe at stuff that I do. Maybe
Like
like
girls? Stuff
No.
that you do? Oh.
stuff. My Evil Empire. My
Oh,
FT.
here you go.
Yeah,
Maybe you have. Maybe you have brought some
like
stuff in.
it's some things that we've done with some of the companies we do business with. Maybe I don't know, but I have seen that cat out and
Yeah.
about.
Is he going to show up on
He should.
I
Saturday?
seriously doubt
Let me
it.
Did you
interview
invite
him.
him?
I have.
Let Dustin interview him.
Let me talk to
He's
him.
a busy dude.
I just need to know about Tannehill Hall. We need to talk
Well,
about this.
I'm. I asked him if I could come back and talk to him about Tannehill before it opens. I think their first.
oh, they're doing stuff now.
What?
Yeah.
It wasn't supposed to kick off until October.
They've been doing dry runs from what I know.
Well, that might be, but they're not doing like events, right? They haven't had a band out there or put on any kind of.
No. They're letting bands come through.
Really?
Well,
that's
maybe
early.
then maybe it's just the dry runs. They're
Could be.
doing test runs.
If they're doing something now, it's much earlier than anticipated.
From what I was told, because the first one is the Archangels or something. That is
I can't remember.
October.
It was an
That is in
October
October.
date. And I want to say it was at the end of October.
But someone told me they went to a show there
could be.
not too long ago. I don't know. I'd like to check it out. But it's owned by. I need to stop bagging on Live Nation Ticketmaster since I do a lot of work for them. but it's just like fuck it. Stop.
Yeah.
Stop. You can survive. You can have a venue without having to use their corrupt bullshit ticketing outlet.
That's something that I hope that if we could do something with the podcast community where we're able to capitalize on each other's shows and kind of work together, maybe we could become that advertising
A ticket broker?
not
and
a
make
ticket broker, but
money?
maybe people would start looking at us to get the word out rather than turn into places like Live Nation. We don't need it. We don't need it
You
in a
don't
city
need
like
it.
Fort Worth.
Well, Dickies was originally the agreement was that Live Nation wouldn't move in there,
And they're in there now.
and they're in there now.
Because now my understanding is whenever you get involved with a group like that, there's Live Nation and a few other
It's
spots
it's a
like that.
365 exclusivity.
right. So you got to
Exclusivity
go
deal.
through them now, right?
If you want to do a big tour, you have to do and you want to do a 365 tour
And that's the bullshit
with
because
promotions, art, T-shirts, all your shit's
it's
taken
not
care
fair.
of.
You took all the
through one
control away
outlet.
from the city now.
That's what a 365 package is. You
I
take
hate
care of
that.
everything. Is that you have to use all their outlets across the country for all your stops.
That's unacceptable.
And It was either a thing where
It's a goddamn monopoly. Didn't
Well-
we outlawed that?
you would think, but Pearl Jam went to court and fought them about it and lost.
Oh my god.
You know, they went to Supreme Court and fought them about it being a monopoly and lost. And now you've got them both. They used to be two separate companies. Now they're one. And it is bullshit. It's 100% bullshit.
Hey, that reminds me. I wanted to ask your opinion. This is kind of on the same lines of what you are talking about. So I listen to during the mornings. I usually will listen to radio for traffic stuff because, especially, the traffic on the ones. I love that.
Stick it up your tailpipe.
That they don't do it as much. So I usually listen to whatever that news station WBAB. So
WBAB?
WBAP.
There you go.
It's got a
Did I
P
say
at-
B?
It's got a P at the end.
The one
So-
that I show up on every once in a while?
Yeah, that Dustin from the Jerry
Jerry
Jones
Jones
Massacre
Massacre.
podcast show. Great name, by the way. Anyway,
That's the greatest podcast
have
they've
y'all
ever.
heard this radio spot that it's kind of disgusting because it's the media conglomerates that own radio. You got your Cumulus, Clear Channel, all your iHeartRadio, all that, and basically they're coming on and saying, "Hey, we want to have music on for you because you like to listen to music, but the artists now are doing this and they're making us pay." Da da da. I'm like, how fucking dare you say that to me through the airwaves?
That's crazy.
And
that
how,
you don't want to pay the
that you don't want to pay the artist, and you're saying the artists are
for
ripping
this.
you off now?
Yeah.
I was like, dude, you need to slow your
Radio's
one
dead.
that it is. It's fucking. They've lost their soul.
They've totally lost their soul.
And but if you listen enough on the news channels during the mornings and probably drive time going home, afternoon drive time, you'll hear the advertisement. It's like some lobbyist group saying, "Hey, we want to keep playing music because you deserve music, but the music industry wants us to pay." And you're like, "Fuck you!"
Yeah, it's
Immediately,
it's a-
"Fuck you!"
every
How
time I
dare
hear
you
that
even say?
commercial,
So you have heard
I've
it?
heard it, yeah.
Doesn't that just make your
It pisses me off.
blood boil? You're like, "Are you fucking kidding me,
Well,
man?"
I get all my music from Amplify 817 now. I don't even listen
Oh
to the rest.
God! You know, Matt, that's a great segue because we're here to announce that we just bought 9 frequencies in the DFW marketplace.
Perfect.
That
We're gonna do
we're
music
just
to
take
Motu
over.
on 9 channels now.
On 9 channels. You're gonna hear our
Nice.
playlist that we create.
Chelsea,
That'd be
I
nice.
saw yours.
got a playlist.
Yeah.
We'd be
Pretty
huge,
exciting.
huge.
Yep. That
Not-
amplified
not a
817,
fan,
they're
huh?
doing it. What of your playlist?
Amplify.
No,
Oh, no, I'm a huge
we
fan.
love
No,
that.
what they're
Awesome.
doing
Yeah,
is
we love it.
great.
Awesome.
No. There's no.
We just like kicking things that are popular in the nuts.
The way you chewed my ass over Tim Love, I thought you were about to bust me on Amplify.
So Amplified is a bunch of bullshit because they've
Fuck
teamed
those
up
guys.
with Ticketmaster. No,
And where's their amplifiers? I don't
Yeah.
get it.
I don't even get this shit. No, what they're doing is badass. What
Love
they're
it.
doing is really, really cool. I've kind of dropped the ball on trying to get some of their peeps in here to talk about it and stuff.
Yeah.
And the thing is, here's the bad thing. I don't live in Fort Worth.
Yeah.
And the show, technically, we're not in Fort Worth city limits. So I can't get a Fort Worth library card without, it was like $50 a year. or
Yeah,
something
I
like
was
that.
looking at that because I was
It's so
trying to look through
stupid.
their catalog, and it was like, okay, here's where you click to get your library card. And I don't actually have a Fort Worth address.
Yeah.
I have a studio in River Oaks, and then I have basically a crash pad on the other side of the city, but I don't have a Fort Worth address. So I can't get a library card. Like, Jesus,
You're
come
just
on.
a nomad, dude.
I'm all over the place.
I've been
dude.
told I can go under the radar by using some other
A
addresses. but
VPN or
I'll VPN in to get amplified. I'll show that I live in Fort Worth. But yeah, I want to get a bunch of those cats in. There's some stuff that's happening that's very non-traditional with what we've grown up in the music scene that we've been in since we were, 14, 15 years old.
I'm blown away. It's
different.
It's
It's
totally
awesome.
original.
Yeah.
The fact that the Fort Worth Library is putting on something like that is enough to kind of crank my neck. Like, what do you mean?
Hmm.
Renting or loaning out equipment so that musicians can use stuff that they couldn't afford otherwise, and supporting local musicians and putting them out there. But that event they did, I don't know, 817.
Yeah. The Fort Worth Day.
Yeah.
817 Day.
And who they had up on stage, and I missed the first one, is Grant. I didn't get to see that one because I was too busy talking
Mhm.
to you and some other nerds.
Yeah.
But Ben C. Jones,
Mm-hmm. Avery.
Cutthroat Finches, and Avery. Incredible.
Yeah. That
And
was a
the
great
fact
day.
that they put that on, it was free to the public.
A few years ago, they did a whole streaming New Year's Eve thing
Oh, really?
that was badass.
I thought Amplify's only been around for like 2 years.
Well, then maybe it was their
Yeah.
first year. They
Okay.
did this whole thing where you could stream, and a bunch of our friends were on it, and it was awesome.
Yeah.
It was just cool seeing it all
Do
happen.
they have
on
a
New Year's
dildo
Eve.
on their show?
No,
That's reserved
Only
for
we
this
do.
show.
but it
That's
was they bounced around to the different libraries
Yeah.
of them playing a set of songs.
Wow.
So like Big Heaven and Yokio and Mean Motor Scooter, and there was another one that I freaking
At different
fell in love with.
locations?
Yeah.
That's wild.
Now secretly, I think it was pre-recorded.
Oh, well.
So they
that'd
just-
make it a lot easier.
Yeah, but they
Work out
just
the glitches.
sewed it all together and made it a live stream that just showed that night. But it was awesome, really, really awesome. There was someone, Susie, you're in the chat room. Who was that band of like Finchy and the Fincherettes or something? I can't remember who it was, but I was like, that's badass.
Yeah, they're doing cool shit, man.
It was cool. It was a cool night of. If you didn't have any, it was during COVID, I think, so no one was going out for New Year's Eve. So just sat around and watched this stream, and it was awesome. See your friends up on TV playing their songs.
And our friends out there at
Living room.
Amplify are pretty badass, too.
Yeah.
Francisco,
Yeah, they're great.
and Rita, and Teresa. They're just good people.
It was Frenchie and the what?
Come
I
on,
knew it was
Susie,
Frenchie.
get it
It's
together.
Frenchie and the something, or something in the Frenchie.
It's a
And
live show. We need your help.
can't
Type-
remember
type
who
quicker.
it was.
Search faster.
I'd have to go and look in the 817 because they're in the 817 amplified 817 catalog. All right, so I have one more thing I want to talk about. I'm gonna skip over the Formula One talk. We kind of did that earlier. If you're a fan, this weekend is the weekend to watch. Man, Monza.
It's a fun race.
It's a fun
track.
race. It's fast. It'll be early. It'll be like 8:00 on Sunday morning.
And
But they race.
freaking, we didn't really get
It'll
into
be
this.
great.
Hamilton's got an axe to grind.
Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be a really, really good race. It's a fast race. The cars run at 80% wide open. the
I thought
entire
we were
race.
going to get to see.
Yes. Frenchie's Blues Destroyer.
I thought we were going to get to see Hamilton and Verstappen go at it. But
Well, last year this is the race that they Verstappen landed his car on top of him.
it was Monza, wasn't it?
And
Yes.
Daniel won. Daniel came back and won,
Yeah.
and had his Monza moment and drank from his shoe, and it was so awesome. It was so pretty.
I'm going to buy
I
one of
loved
those
it.
shoes.
So the last thing I want to talk about
$298 on clearance.
is that's how much they are. It's $298.
On clearance.
Damn it. Is what you told me I had to watch, and then like
I need a progress
After that-
report.
4 or 5 other people told me to watch.
hmm
Welcome to Wrexham
It's awesome.
on Hulu.
It's amazing.
What is this?
This made the first
It's-
episode made me tear up.
It gives you dreams and hopes.
So this is the team that Ryan Reynolds and Adam
Rob McElvey
McElvey.
from
It's Always Sunny
It's always
Mhm.
Sunny.
bought a football team.
Did this
in
really happen?
Wales, yes.
They really bought a football team in Wales?
Yeah.
Mhm. They bought a football team in Wales.
It's
and
on-
over there, football is soccer. So we're
It's
talking about
Hulu,
soccer
right?
right now. So everybody chill out.
Football.
Football. They bought it for £2 million,
Which is what in
like
Dollar.
2.4 million.
Okay.
Okay. And they're in complete control of it. This is the documentary of them buying it and going through everything. It's so fucking epic. I cannot tell you. I can't even
I
explain.
wanna
If
see
you
it.
have
Rob didn't.
Hulu,
He didn't even know about
dude,
soccer until he got obsessed with this, and then
because
just
of
went
one
hard.
of the guys that works on
Yeah.
Sunny, he's a writer or his assistant or something on
So
Sunny.
he just started obsessing on it to learn the rules
Yes.
and
It's
everything.
hilarious.
It's funny because there'll be times where he has to ask someone,
What's going
"What does
on?
this mean?
Yeah.
Like, is this our corner kick? What is this? What are we doing here?"
If you don't understand also how the English football rules work as far as it comes to the tier system and how you can
The relegation.
be relegation or be promoted within the league, they have the perfect breakdown. And what's awesome
Really do.
is the
Really
breakdown
do.
they show is they use American baseball. So they use the Yankees, for example. Like if the Yankees are at the, they're in the MLB, and if they lose so many games a year, they're knocked down to the minor league, and then they're knocked down to where they're playing, college level. And if it got shitty, they'd be playing like little league, like if they got that bad. Which is, I want baseball to have relegation. Out of all the sports we have, that'd be the greatest thing ever.
I think I've heard.
But I like having
what's
the
his
Rangers.
name on the ticket? The
I like
guy,
having the Rangers.
Craig Miller has said that all along that baseball should go to relegation.
Because you got the AA and AAA that are.
I think
there's some
all
badass
sports
people
should
in
do
it.
Does it work both directions? I mean,
Oh,
could
yeah.
you could
So-
you have a college
Yeah, the
team
Dallas
playing
Cowboys
pro?
could get.
So that's the
booted.
way this works: is the bottom 4 of the tier get relegated down. The top 4, number 1 gets automatic placement. The top 3 have a playoff system to where, or no, the top 3 have a playoff system with the top 5, right? Total
I think so.
is the way it works, and they get promoted.
The thing that's cool about
So
this
it's all,
series,
every season, it's 4 down, 4 up, 4
Right.
down, 4 up, 4 down,
and
4 up.
multiple
Until you get
leagues
to
too,
the-
until you get to the EPL.
the English Premier League, the highest level, which is where your Manchester United, your Chelsea, your Man City, all that are.
How competitive would that get? I mean, if
Well,
that's why
if
it's
the
so
NFL had the
awesome.
risk of college football taking their stadium,
That's why they have hooligans.
Fucking
Like they're hardcore.
awesome. And the way the money changes, because if you watch, there's some shows on Amazon that are all or nothing, and they will follow down. They'll follow a Premier League team. Here lately, they've been following all the top teams, but they're one of the ones I
What's
watched
that stream on now?
on Amazon.
Okay, I need to
But they
start that.
followed one that got demoted,
Hmm.
and what it did to the club, and you get to see it from the inside, and
It's
how
depressing.
people lost their shit. Now, here's the thing about Wrexham that is every team in the entire English league. Okay, every team is associated with a village, okay, or a small
That's
little
the
town.
neatest part of it.
And this
is
is
how it just
what
electrifies them.
This is what made me tear up.
How
was
stoked they are.
How unified, no matter what your age is, everybody talks about that team. And it pissed me off that we don't have that here.
No, we don't.
nothing.
Not even
close.
Nothing.
close.
Nothing.
The
There's
only thing
no
that-
team in the
there's-
DFW area
We're
that
too big.
all of us
Right.
care about.
The only thing that's close to that type of thing would be big college football towns like Tuscaloosa, Alabama, and or isn't that where Alabama's at? Like
Yeah.
big college football towns.
A&M,
That's the only A&M
you
where
know,
they don't have
College
anything
Station.
else. But that's one of the cool.
Love
That's what
it.
I was going to ask you. How cool is it to see this village just light up out of this weird depression? But man, we've really been kicked in the nuts for the last 10 years, and they're like, "This is really cool."
So I'm going to give away some.
they're
I'm going to give
freaking
some
out.
away in the first episode. Like they have to meet a certain percentage, and the team is also owned by the town or by the fans. So you have a team vote, and then you have the fans or the people that live in the city. They have to vote on if Ryan and Rob can buy the team. Okay, they have to.
They're
meet-
more worried about that than
yeah,
anything.
and they have to meet a 75% threshold.
Yeah,
Well, they destroy it. Destroy it.
it was like 98%.
98%. They're all in for it.
Yeah.
So now they're like, oh fuck.
Except
you know.
for Karen down the street.
So
And it's the team. The city goes crazy. The little village of Wrexham goes nuts, and it's just so fucking awesome that I don't want to fucking live here anymore.
it's
I
weird
want to
because
go
these two
find
guys,
me a
these,
cool ass
these two
village and hang
dudes,
out in.
these two dudes that are our age, are like have a major role in these people's lives in this village. Not weird, but this nice little village over in Wales, and it's just cool to see. Like Rob, the dude from
It's always
It's Always Sunny. He's like immediately going hard. He's like, you can tell he's going to do whatever he can to make this team legit. He doesn't give a shit. By the way, how did you like him making a fat ass peanut butter and jelly sandwich while he's deciding to get a star player?
Yeah. Speaking of which, I want a peanut butter and jelly sandwich now. But yeah,
It looked good. He's sitting
He's just
glopping
something-
on.
with his Trader Joe's peanut butter.
Yeah.
There's a lot of interesting studies, like social experiments, where they're trying to identify what it is that makes a difference between the small groups and the big groups. But we have a tribal mentality as humans, and the larger our group gets, the more separated we kind of become. And you can
Totally
see it
true.
in traffic around here. You know,
Mhm.
Yeah.
people cutting each
Well,
other
just
off.
look at what's happening with politics right now.
Well, and you go to a smaller
like-
town, you see people holding the door for each other. You see the traffic patterns are different. People let you merge, shit like that. But we get more disconnected as we grow, and so you lose something whenever
Mhm.
you move from a rural area like that, where you can count on your neighbors to kind of help you out. And then you compare it to something even like Fort Worth, where people constantly say things like, "Oh, it's the biggest little city." No, it's we're too big, and you
There's a
lose
double-edged
that.
sword of
You really lose
tribalism.
that.
Because tribalism, like you said, in a small village behind
do
a
a
football team
whole
is awesome. It's good
show
for I
about
think the
this.
community. Yeah, we could do a whole show
A
on this.
whole fucking show.
But
about
then
this.
but then look at what's happened with the state of our country right now, when you have like this almost pseudo tribalism that's formed over Twitter and social media.
We're
And you have these
about
people
that
something
saying-
doesn't count a
different,
tribe.
No,
though.
no, it is the exact same thing.
It's
When-
too
th-
big.
th-
It's
th-
not.
You are
your
either
local
part of
tribe.
you're either part of team Orange Hair Bad, or you're part of what they say are the Nazi fascist,
though.
and which is not true. That's the thing. Tribalism goes to a certain point where it's
Well-
good for the community, and then it
Yeah.
starts hurting the
And not
community.
to discount what you're saying, but that's a different aspect of it. What I'm talking about is the
The
tight
smaller.
knit group that exists inside these communities with these small teams and things like that. What you're talking about is kind of like a religious aspect of following a narrative. You know, the tribalism that you see inside something like that is toxic and disgusting.
That's what I'm saying. Is tribalism is a double-edged sword. That's what I started my comment with. It's a double-edged sword. In some
Right,
cases,
right.
it works great, like what we're talking about.
Right.
But then it gets out of control. It's just like you said. If it gets too big, it gets tainted, and it just
But you know,
destroys things.
100%.
That's also kind of
100%.
like this could be my mindset is that whereas in a smaller community, say my neighborhood, whatever, I'm more at one to be with that and not be anything on the national scale. Like just fuck off. I don't give a
I think
shit
that's
what
what
you
we're
guys
about
do.
to turn back to, actually. I think we're about to start turning more into our local communities and our local tribes, is what I think.
Yeah.
I think
I don't
because
give a shit what's going on
it's like-
nationally with
you should not be having to
Anything.
drive to work every day and think, hey, how can I make a commonality with this person that just pissed me off by almost killing my family and running me off the road? But I got to remember, he's part of my tribe, my big tribe, and all that. And we're like, the ultimate tribe is humans. We're humans, and we shouldn't have to always be thinking and reminding ourselves of that. It would be nice if we did kind of start going back and kind of like some of these villages, in Wales and stuff that have these, or you see what's behind the Australian rules football and just cities in general. Like
I
high
think
school football kind of used to be back in the day. It was like you're proud of the
Yeah.
Palestine Wildcats. You're proud of the Elkhart, whatever they are.
there's been a ton of studies, and I have to agree with them. I don't think we're wired to be able to have more of a communication or
Then yeah,
more in touch or be able to have more than 100 people
yeah.
at our fingertips at any given time. That it just doesn't work that way. It
Yeah.
shit
It's the
starts
lesson
getting
we're
too,
learning, kind of, isn't it?
Yeah, shit starts bleeding too much.
Your
If you go back to
empathy starts to
before
dissolve.
we had social media, how many friends did you have?
Yeah.
I could probably count, maybe 20 friends with 10 of them being in my inner circle.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But now that you've got social media where you have 5,000 friends and you may make a comment about something and some numbnuck you haven't talked to in 6 years comes out of the woodwork and just starts attacking the shit out of you
It's happened to us
for whatever.
several times.
Oh yeah, it happens all the time. But they attack the shit out of you for all sorts of shit. And you're like, dude, I don't know. I haven't talked to you in 20 years.
Why do you
I
think
have
I care
no
about this
idea
from
what
you?
your
Yeah,
beliefs are.
yeah.
I don't even. You're unfortunately the algorithm doesn't even show me your bullshit you post, so I have no idea We're
Right.
unrelated. Fuck off. And that's where you start bumping heads and getting angry.
What
but
is your
you're not
move?
about that.
Do you comment on that? Do you respond to it, or you just glaze over it and let it go?
It depends on who it is.
Yeah, how, and what
It
kind
really
of mood
depends on
I'm
who it
in.
is.
So
And
I'll
it
leave the
does.
comments up. Like I post shit all the time.
Oh, I don't. I've never delete comments.
Yeah,
No,
I leave it
mine's
up.
there.
No.
I had somebody reach out to me the other day. There's a person who I'll leave nameless who I don't know if this
Hold
is true
on.
or not.
I'll take it back. I delete comments if they're racist or
Yeah,
they get
yeah,
crazy
yeah.
like that.
I won't. I'll leave it up. You said that
I-
shit. You get to own it. And it's,
Well,
it's,
a lot
it
of
does not
times-
deduct from what I said.
Well, a lot of times I'll report it and it will get taken down.
Yeah.
Or I'll redo that. I'll report it that this person
I
said
mean,
that.
you're
to
not
them
going to get
removed.
any kind of negative mark against you for letting this person identify themselves as a dumbass, right?
But there's some people that if you just leave it up there and you don't respond, well, why didn't you fight for me?
yeah.
Why didn't you fight for what they were saying? Why didn't you fight for my type of people that
Yeah.
they were attacking?
If it's inflammatory, I just leave it alone. But I generally, I haven't never found anything that
I've
I'm
gotten-
like, I'm going to have to take that down.
We've gotten backlash
Yeah,
to
we've
where
had
it's one of
some
those
stuff.
things where someone pops off there, they pop the F with a hard T word. Okay,
We've
and
had some
about
pretty
stuff.
spirited guys and
So-
girls about certain topics that
or
have
they
said some things.
You know, they
It's
say
like-
some stuff, and
I'm
you
gonna-
leave it up there, but then you don't fight back.
A bad fart
and then
will ruin your day.
Right.
Yeah, if you don't fight back, I've heard
You get the backlash of it.
the backlash of, well, why didn't you stand
Yeah,
up
I
for
get
it?
that.
Why
You're,
didn't you do
you're,
this?
You're
Why
talking
didn't you
about
do
them
that?
attacking somebody personally and stuff.
Yeah,
and-
it's bad.
The
Or-
incident that I'm talking about is personal, but I haven't heard from this person to know any better. But the comment that I got is, do you know that this person is under FBI investigation for posting pictures of their child, inappropriate pictures?
Wow.
And I'm like,
Okay.
holy fuck.
That was posted on one of your posts on social media?
On one of my episodes.
That's when you just
Damn.
back up and you're like, dude, the guy has.
Oh,
their
was it
own
a guest on your
issues.
show?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh,
Yeah.
Mic off. I want to know who this is now.
we've never had anything
Pretty
like
wild.
that. We
And
have-
I don't know that it's true.
Nah,
There's no way to
We've
substantiate
had
it.
some stuff that has been like, hey, you know that band, that dude in that band, he is just got arrested, or that DJ you used to work with. Like, we've had some things kind of like that.
But it's never been that hardcore. I mean, there's a fucking fly on the wall I'm looking at right now that's got a band member that came in here who was nice as shit. Not going to bring up the name.
See the fly.
The flyer. It's right there.
Oh, I thought you said fly on
Oh,
the
it's a
wall.
flyer.
Fly, yeah.
There's a flyer on the wall. But nice as shit. He was always nice to me out in public, always cool. Has been around since I was a kid, you know, played shows in the scene forever, him and his band. And then it comes out he did some diddling and some shit,
Mhm.
went to jail, maybe in jail or prison now. I don't know, but it's like, fuck, you know.
We've gotten
He was
that,
on the
though.
show before all
Yeah.
this came out, you know, and
We've gotten that too, though. We've gotten. I can't believe you had that dude on your show. Like, I've gotten some of that shit.
but there's also an aspect of it like, well, that it's kind of like that happened to you. We didn't know that went on, you know, type thing.
Mhm.
We don't know. You know, you can start. A lot of people, and this sucks. This totally sucks saying this, and don't take this the wrong way. But when it comes to a one-on-one thing, I've seen too many things of shit just being said to attack someone,
Right.
or try to
yeah.
knock
You
someone
don't know
down,
both
and it's
sides
not
of
the
story,
truth.
or the person making the comment might be full of shit and just trying to attack that person.
I've seen
Yeah.
a
And it-
lot of people that were just out of their
And
mind
I don't know about
to
you, but
attack another person.
I don't
and
do
you're like,
background checks on my guests. I
I
don't.
don't either.
I have them down. We talk about.
We
their
wouldn't be
shit.
very good at it
No.
either.
To be honest,
Yeah.
we'd
I really-
fail at
Seems
that.
cool to me.
I haven't signed up for that service. You know,
Start
it's-
pulling people's credit before they come in here.
It's terrible. You know,
I'm sorry, you have to be above a 200 to.
We're gonna need your tri merge.
But it's one of those things. Like what do? We had a really close friend in here that said one time they said, "I can go on this wall and I can point people out to you
That have
that have done things," and I'm like, "Fuck." You know, what do we do? Well, there's nothing we can do. We just
It's like
have
when-
them in here.
What was that?
We didn't
Reddit,
know.
that Reddit group
How
that
do
the
you
girls
get-
had for a while, the girl gang or whatever, and we're like finding out about all these people that were on the girl gang list that was bad.
There
I
cannot
cannot
be
stop
responsible.
saying that. That's like a little mafia that's going to come kill you.
You can't.
Yeah.
You can't be responsible though for the actions of every person you have in your front of
No,
the mic.
you sure
especially if you don't
can't.
know.
But if you,
I
if
mean,
you
I'm
listen,
into some gross shit that y'all don't know about.
yeah,
but
we know.
No, I did a background check.
We ran your credit.
Yeah.
Yeah, the credit thing was disturbing on it.
Well, it's like me and Matt said. How many concerts have you been to that you didn't know it, but you passed a serial killer?
Or somebody that was currently being sex trafficked. I
Well,
mean,
that's just
or-
at bars. That I mean,
That's at a bar, yeah. Or controlled a sex trafficking network.
Yeah.
You know, you never fucking
you never know.
Tell me.
Yeah, it's true.
Like the average person, what do? We looked it up. The average person has walked
Like 30 times.
in their life has walked by.
Ours. I guarantee you, us three are higher than that because
Yeah, because of what we do.
what are
but-
y'all
Yeah.
talking about? Walk by what?
No,
usually
no,
the
no.
average person or something walks
Was
by
30
a killer,
murders.
a murderer. Yeah.
Someone that is killed you have come in contact in your life 30.
the average.
You've come across 30 people that have murdered someone
and now out of war.
out of war
Out of-
scenario.
Yeah, a wartime scenario.
But it's just straight up 30 murders, and then it was something like 2 or 3 serial killers.
Yeah. Well, I take a lot of comfort knowing that the odds of more than one serial killer being in this room right now are basically zero. So
Oh, yeah.
you
I'm
don't know it.
good.
You didn't run our background check.
I know I'm good.
Yeah. I wanted. Okay, so we got way off on that. Can we bring it up in a,
Yeah,
in
I
a little
think,
happiest place real quick? And this is
yeah.
going to have to go fast.
I just had to bash on some social media then real quick.
But I got the Cowboys schedule for this year.
Oh man, I need to bring one in. I'll keep forgetting, man. I'm sorry.
Do you want in on
Is
this?
this podcast worthy? What are we talking
Do you want to
about?
wait till I bring? Oh, we don't
Is
have
it
time to
sports
wait.
now?
No,
Are we
it
doing
starts on
sports?
Tuesday.
We're
or
going to
Monday.
sports here.
Do we
Are you a
start on
Cowboys
Sunday?
fan?
Don't sports on me.
Mhm.
Are you a Cowboy fan?
I'm going to disappoint you, but I couldn't give a shit less about football
Okay.
or any other sport.
Okay,
really.
never mind. then. Because we do our win-loss record before the first game of every year.
Are you're going to try to call them?
We're going to call them, and usually there's a good bet on the line. So I was
Okay.
going to say, if you were into this, we
I'll
could
get in on
you.
it. Sure.
You know, it's usually a bottle of whiskey.
Okay.
And
Good
then
whiskey or
I
like?
decide- it's got to be decent. I mean, over $50. I mean, come
Okay,
on.
so not TX.
It's something to land some stiff in here. You know,
Yeah.
you know.
I'm down. Let's do it.
All right, Matt, you ready?
Sure am.
Okay, I'm gonna put Andrew over here on this side, and at the end of the season, we're gonna see how much we suck. This will be Dustin. This will be Matt. All right, Tampa Bay is the kickoff game. Tampa Bay
In
this
Dallas.
weekend in
Are we,
Dallas.
Are we just doing win-loss?
win-loss?
Win-loss.
Is it a win or a loss?
This is preseason, right?
No, this is starting this week. Is
Oh,
the
okay.
real season.
All right. Well then,
Tampa Bay.
Tampa, all the way,
So
what are you picking?
winning. Tampa.
I'm gonna
Tampa?
put it. So this is just focused on the Cowboys side of it. So I'm gonna say it's a loss.
I'm going win, baby.
Matt's going win. I'm going loss.
How
Cincinnati.
you feel about that win now?
Cincinnati's going to be tough because what's his name's full on now. That badass
Cincinnati.
quarterback.
So are you going loss?
I'm going to go win.
I'm lost, baby. Yeah,
Against
100%.
Cincinnati? You're lost. Okay.
I've
I'm gonna
watched
go.
Dallas play for a long
I think
time.
I'm gonna go win. Also, now Giants at Giants.
Loss.
They got
That's
a
the type
strong-
of game we'll lose. We'll
Uh,
win 2 straight and go up there and lose that
I'm
one.
going to win that one.
How's the Giants doing this season? How's it
No,
looking?
not good.
Not
Yeah,
good?
They're still building.
Put me down.
Rebuilding.
Put me down for a win.
Okay, win.
Put me down for a win, too.
Okay,
Sorry.
You're changing it. God damn it.
Yeah.
All right, at Washington here noon Sunday, October 2nd.
Home game.
This will be one I have to put up against Jeremy. So
Dallas lost.
loss.
Dallas win.
Dallas win.
I'm going with a 4-0 start.
I'm going with a win. God, you are going with a 4-0 start. I'm going 3-1. You're going 1-3. At the Rams, loss.
Loss.
Yeah, loss.
Loss. At Philadelphia.
Loss.
Same.
At Philly? Philly?
Actually, that's the one we usually win and we lose it here. But I think we're going to lose that game.
I'm going with a win. We'll see. At Detroit here.
I will be there, so that will be a win. Guaranteed victory.
Loss.
You have a 1-7 so far. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 1-6. Chicago here.
Win. I mean, it's gonna be. I can't believe I'm picking all these wins, but win. Yeah,
Loss.
You're 1-7. Damn it. I'm gonna go with a win. They came off Detroit. They're all hot. I'm gonna go with a win. Green Bay at Green Bay. Loss.
Lambeau. Loss.
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 Jesus. Minnesota at Minnesota.
Vikings.
The Vikings.
Give me an L.
I got a buddy up there. I'm gonna say they're gonna take it. Yeah.
A win.
Dallas loss.
Dallas lost. Jesus Christ. If yours win, they're like 1-9. I'm gonna go with a loss too. Giants here. Win.
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 A win. Oh, they're 2-9 now. Indy here. Sunday, December 4th.
Dallas win.
I'm gonna go with a win.
I'm gonna go with a loss because it's
You
Indy.
really
I really don't
struggled
have
with that
any
one.
idea what's going on with the NFL this
Dustin
year.
was
I have no idea.
50-50 on that one. You could tell.
Houston win.
Win. That's here too.
Yep, it's here.
Loss.
Goodness, man.
At Jacksonville, raising hell with them Jacksonville Jaguars and Fred Durst.
That feels like a win.
I don't know. We always lose to those teams out there, the Carolina Panthers and the Jaguars.
I'm winning with them here.
All right, I'm going to go loss.
Okay. Philly here.
Win.
This is Christmas Eve.
Ooh.
Loss.
I'm going to go win.
Loss. Win. I'm going to go win. It's Philly. It's divisional. It's here.
It's Christmas.
It's Christmas.
That's a loss. They get distracted too fucking easily. And it's late in the season, right?
Motherfucker. Oh, no, it's not. Yeah, it's late in the season.
Yeah.
At Tennessee.
Loss.
Put me down for a win.
And finally, to end the season, January 7th or 8th, to be determined.
Win.
Loss.
Against Washington.
Absolute
Sweeping the
loss.
Redskins this year.
Absolute loss.
And I will put a win, and you want to win. And Jeremy, we can bet whatever. So you have them going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-12 for the season.
I've been. So here's the deal.
That'd be Sean Payton.
The reason I don't like or football in general, the Cowboys ruined it for me. Like, I'm 37 years old. I have watched them just destroy their entire legacy. So they're the reason I don't like football, man. I'm sorry. All my Cowboys.
That's pretty true.
All my friends out there that are Cowboys fans, you already know this about me.
What's my record? I'm pretty positive
We're
this
both
year.
11-6.
Oh,
Look
shit.
at that.
Yeah.
You want to put some tattoos on it? On the face?
Oh,
No
face tats.
No facial tattoos.
I'm going to win this one. I feel pretty strong about that.
He did that one year, and it came down
Sweat.
to the last
Sweat,
game.
man. Like, he was getting on my nerves. Everybody talking to me
He
about
was
it
getting
on
a
my nerves.
Philadelphia
Like, dude,
Eagle on
fucking
his
shut the
cheek.
fuck up, man.
Oh, my God.
I was all
what
like,
he
everybody bring it up. You ready to get that tattoo? Like, shut up, man.
I mean, I don't know. Your
Was
life
the
would
last
be
game
over.
one? Or no, I got it like the second to last,
game.
and then they won. They won the last
You'd
two.
have had to
didn't they?
move there. There'd be no life left for you.
Can you imagine running your route with that on your face?
There's people sitting
Everybody just fucking
like,
with you the whole
I
time.
think was it you or RoboTuner were like posting pictures of me and like
Yeah.
putting the
We were
Eagles
photoshopping it.
on my cheek.
Random moms would be throwing diaper shit at you. It'd
We
be
were
epic.
photoshopping shit on him. RoboTuner was looking at the flights because we were gonna fly to Philly,
Yeah, he was
have
ready
him
to do
be
it.
tattooed, and come
Damn
back.
him.
That's back when the
Damn him.
podcast was good. Now,
This podcast is one of the best podcasts in North
That's
Texas.
that's before
but
we
apparently
were woke.
not good enough for you to tell people to vote for in the best of.
I'm looking at your wall here. You got plenty.
No, I think we're out. I told them we
did
were
they go?
done.
Oh, yeah.
What? Of the
our
of
first-
the
Best of
weekly.
Fort Worth.
Yeah, they were supposed to name the award after us. It was supposed to be the Jerry Jonestown Massacre Podcast Award,
Bitches.
like the music one for Big Mike, the Big Mike tribute band award.
Well, I think
what they're
once,
supposed to do. They haven't
once,
done it.
Once we get up to 5 for Funky
give
Panther,
award
then
for
we
tributes?
we can pick somebody else. Right?
Sure,
Does
Sure.
it matter? Does it really matter?
it doesn't matter. It's just the best of. I'm glad that the podcast Cordy's back in there because the last 3 years you had to write it in.
Yeah.
And the Funky Panther did the best radio, which was awesome.
Did they won best radio? Oh
Yeah,
shit!
which was great. Best radio show or whatever. I was like,
It's funny.
y'all y'all broke the rules.
you
That's
know,
what's
like
awesome.
91.7. That's
We've
is that-
done some rules.
Would that be a primarily Fort Worth channel? 91.7. Would they qualify for that?
Maybe yeah.
Because if they beat out 91.7, that's epic.
yeah,
That's really
yeah.
next level shit.
I think last year that's what they did was they.
Damn, dude.
And then our 5th year, the podcast was off the ballot, and we told everybody to write it in the little box at the very end.
Yeah.
Put the podcast in there and tell them fuck off Fort Worth Weekly podcast. Bam, bam, bam. And everybody did, and we got it. And then
That's
that's when
awesome.
I said, okay, we're done. We pull our
That's
enough
enough,
strings.
yeah.
Yeah, let's share the wealth. My favorite one though up there is the year we won it with Jeff.
Jeff Lord.
Yeah. I freaking love that one. That one's my favorite. That just because we're both on there.
Yeah.
And
That's pretty epic.
I can't remember if we won Reader's Choice and he won
Editor's choice.
Editor's Choice or vice versa, but yeah, that one was great.
Yeah.
I love that one. That one just because this was like early in the beginning, so it was cool.
Yeah, I'd love to have some shit like that up on the studio wall, but I'm a fan, so I think that your podcast, Funky Panther, Jeffrey Lords,
They're having fun, man.
I love y'all's shows too much to be like, oh, I've got the best podcast. I like y'all's better. I don't know. I'm a fan.
what I love now is that my podcast feeds filled back up because there for a little bit.
What do you mean?
A bunch of our friends and stuff, a bunch of people I followed just stopped doing podcasts, so they fall off.
Yeah.
But now I've got you, Funky Panther, God damn it,
Funky Town.
no, he's always been on there. What's their names? The two girls.
Oh, Forever Reckless.
Yes.
Oh, and Fort Worth Famous. I'm so sorry. Susie.
Yeah. Well, Fort Worth
Fort
Famous
Worth
always been
Famous.
on there since their beginning, but like now, like I hated when I had to go back to radio
Yeah.
and listen to shit because
Yeah.
it annoyed me during the day.
Well,
but-
there was a
get your
serious
on my face.
uptick in 2020, right? Everybody had a fucking podcast, and I think now we're kind of weeding out the
We find out
ones that weren't
who's-
serious about.
That's the way it does. It's because everybody will start doing it and they realize,
it'll
fuck,
dr-
this is a lot of work,
it's
and
a
I don't
lot
know
of
if I can keep
goddamn
this
work.
up.
They'll start going to doing it once every 2 weeks to once every month
Month.
to every once in a while, and then like, okay, they're on their
It's
way
done.
out.
It's
Fuck
done.
it.
And I kind of went the other way with that. Like I was trying to stay very consistent, and then I had some life stuff and took like 4 months off, and then it was fire back in the hole, dude. Every single week since I don't know March of last year. So
Yeah,
It's therapy.
that's cool.
It's weird.
It is.
I think you were talking about on the with the Funky Panther guys, the like they said that it's therapy.
Yeah.
And that's what me and Matt have said since the beginning. This is therapy. This is bowling league for us. This is
yeah.
getting together and just we can talk a bunch of shit and get shit off our mind and just release stuff and
Yeah.
feel better
Can
at
I-
the end of the day being able to talk about
Can I
it with
get you
people.
nerds on my show? Bring you to my
Sure.
studio.
Whenever you
even-
want.
Yeah,
I've got
whatever.
I've got a new studio in River Oaks. It's about 18-minute drive from here. I think.
No, I'm
Oh,
in
you mean
River
tonight?
Works all the time.
No, not tonight. Fuck you.
Right now,
I mean, I guess.
with the
I'm
condoms,
going to bed.
with the condoms
yeah.
and the loop.
The giant condoms I brought you.
Yeah,
Magnum
Look
baby.
at this shit. This is awesome. New car smell, a rear view mirror,
Yeah.
Car freshener.
Car freshener.
Yeah, these are really, really nice.
Why couldn't I think of the word freshener?
You know what's funny? I'm actually going to use this.
I'm actually gonna put mine up
So
too.
so when
I think
those
the me thinks I didn't use.
My methinks fell apart.
you know how the
I had it in
internet
my
works.
truck.
Like
You
you
get a
start
rebate.
you start just talking about shit and it starts popping up. When I started planning for this event, all this promotional stuff started showing up. And one day I saw the air freshener thing. I'm like, that's
Air
so
fresheners are
fucking stupid.
awesome.
That's
It's
awesome.
the greatest thing ever.
And then I bought 100 of them.
The stupider it is, the better it works.
I
and
love
that's
it.
what's awesome.
And everybody I've given it to has the same reaction I did. Like, oh, this is so cool, man.
It is. It's
stupid,
so
but
great.
it's really cool.
Yeah, it's freaking awesome. So your show is going to be Saturday at Pouring Glory from 1 to 6. So if you need to go to
There's some
gallery
good
night,
grub there,
you
too.
still have time.
Well, listen, so I looked up like other events that were going on in the city. I thought September
Gallery
10th was
night.
great because there was nothing else going on as far as I could find.
except for those that like to remember September 11th a day early.
Are you going to
It's too much.
gallery
It's too
night?
much. So anyway, gallery night. So I found Rebecca
Gallery
Lau.
night.
She has a metal art sculpture gallery
Mm-hmm.
over there on Camp Bowie, and she's doing something from noon till 9 p.m. So I reached out to her and I was like, hey, let's do a cross promotion. She was all about it. So what I'm doing is I'm asking people that are coming out to the 1 to 6 at Pouring Glory for this podcast event to either stop by Rebecca Lau's on Camp Bowie on the way to the show or to catch it on the way out. But just a super awesome lady. Her gallery's awesome. Yeah, you're into art with your nose up at
Yeah.
the
I love art.
different museums. You should check this out.
Her gallery is really rad because I've
Have you
been over there working.
Awesome.
I've been over there working and seen a bunch of it, and it's really badass. It's
Yeah.
cool.
I think we're gonna be best friends, me and Rebecca,
Yeah.
for sure.
The so yeah, the perfect time. You've timed this perfect because you can still do gallery night. People can still get away and go see the Killers if they have Killers tickets.
At
I'll-
7. Killers at 7, 7:30, something like that.
I'll find out on Thursday or
Yeah.
Friday if I'm going to shoot it or not. I put in for it like 2 years ago.
Yeah, still got time for the Killers, folks.
Like this Killers show was supposed to be one of the first shows at Dickies Arena.
No shit.
Yeah, it was way early,
Hmm.
way early, and they kept pushing out because of COVID.
Yeah.
And so, I found out about that. We were supposed to play a show that night, and then I'm not going to Dallas. Fuck that.
Yeah.
So I may just be at if it comes down to it, I may just be at Pouring Glory from like 1 o'clock till like 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
Just
Well,
spend a
and-
12-hour shift. Walk over to Mass, walk back.
And the event is 1 to 6. That's when the live music's happening and all that stuff. But we'll be
Yeah.
there chilling. We'll be there hanging out and seeing cool people and doing cool things.
It'll be
so.
fun, man. It's gonna be cool.
And these air
You gotta
fresheners
still-
that you're talking about will be in the grab bags at the door.
Hell
so
yeah.
make sure you're one of the early folks and get one of the grab bags because
How
we only
often-
have 100.
How often do you get to go to an event and you get it's not a grab bag. In the world of entertainment, it's a swag bag.
Swag bag. I'm so sorry.
You
You're
get
right,
a
you're right.
swag bag.
Swag bag. Yeah.
It's like what everybody gets when they go to the Emmys or whatever. You know, I can't wait to pick up my swag bag from you. That's got an iPod in it. Freaking
$100,000 swag bag.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and a $1,000 entry ticket.
my Rolex watch.
Yeah.
And fucking yeah, I'm ready.
Roblox watch.
I
My Rolex watch, not a
You said
Roblox watch.
Roblox.
I
I was like,
I did get some
those sound pretty dope.
sponsorship, but
Some AirPods.
I went hard in the paint for this event, and a lot of the money that went into this came out of my bank account. So I hope a lot of people come out and enjoy this shit, and everybody likes having a new car smell air freshener with my logo all over it, dangling from the rearview mirror.
It could be dangling from somewhere else.
Oh my God!
You don't want that
Stubbs,
though.
Don't do it.
You only live once, right?
Yeah.
YOLO!
We're
YOLO.
getting into the holiday season. You can just dangle it
Time to
off
be
things.
jolly.
Jingle bells.
Why is the word dangle so much fun? That's a really good word.
Dangle.
word,
It
yeah.
is.
I'm gonna just dangle it.
Dangle
it out there.
Dangle my
Dangle it all
dingleberries.
over the place.
We have gone for fucking ever.
I know.
It's time to get out of here.
I gotta go.
Come dangle with us.
Come dangle.
Andrew, it's been great. We'll see you on Saturday.
Come
Thank you
dangle with
guys.
the dingleberries.
And thank y'all for your support, man. You guys are awesome.
No, thank you for your support.
Wink.
Yes.
Wink. And we're gonna go some camping. We're gonna go do some fun things, and we're gonna just record it and let people hear
Look
what
out,
happens.
Starbase, Texas. Here we come.
Fuck yeah!
Yeehaw.
All right, we're out of here. Till next week. Adios.
Happy Tuesday.
Mofos.
Mofos. When you want him as governor now?
Who's that?
Adios, mofos.
Is that a thing? Did that happen?
That was
Are you serious?
Governor Rick Perry. He said that in the middle of an interview. He got pissed off. I forgot who was interviewing him, but they were asking him a bunch of hot questions. Like, just
I think it was when he was running for president, wasn't
was it? And he just said, "I'm done. Adios, mofos." Done.